And I do believe that we are live. Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. With me, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm excited to see some baseball. Forget the troubles of the world for a little while.
Very understandable. We're going to see. Oh, this is going to be a revenge game in more ways than one. Let's put it
Oh,
this way.
okay.
For one, the Mulos, last time I believe that the Navegadores and Mulos faced each other at Aguas Buenas, which is the Mulos home park. Ted didn't do so hot. I don't remember if they got shut out or what happened, but the long and short of it is that it did not go well for the Navegadores. So there's that. It is
Okay.
also, however, a meta revenge game in that this is a game we tried to broadcast a few weeks ago and it crashed. And you may remember that as the last game before we took like a 4 week hiatus from streaming.
Also understandable.
Yes, we were so depressed about losing 6.1. I think he had just allowed his first hit or something too. It was
Hmm.
the moment where you're kind of are the wheels about to fall off,
Yes, very much.
and then it crashed anyway. We've lost so many great moments last year during the playoffs. There was an excellent moment where Jacques Centur, now the Taínos de Gurabo, and their best player, hit this 2 run homer. I think it was a go ahead one, but I could be wrong. And the opposing pitcher promptly drilled Wally Balk in the chest.
Oh man.
Wally
Yeah.
charged the mound. Everybody got tossed,
Oh
and
yeah.
that got
Exciting.
lost to a crash. So,
Terrible.
indeed. But this is going to be a perfectly regular game during which we will talk a little bit about the sad, sad month of baseball that Navegadores fans have endured from their favorite team.
Well,
It
you're used to that. I believe your favorite team is the Reyes.
they I'm slowly becoming used to it. You might say the water is getting hotter around this frog.
Uh-huh. Good way to put it.
It's bad. They at least seem to be holding on to a wild card spot, an invitacion as we call it here, for until about the All Star break, the Campeones break, and after
Mhm.
that, it is over. It is so over. It has never been
Oh
more
boy.
over.
Oh no.
They are not even holding on to a tied record anymore. It's very bad. I am severely considering changing to one of the many other losing teams where at least you don't have to feel embarrassed to be a fan of them. You can just go to the games and enjoy yourself.
Hmm.
But what I will also say is that the Ingenieros missed the playoffs last year in 1904 for the first time since 1872,
Oh yeah.
and they're back this year.
Oh, okay.
So, if it's the one year that just kind of resets everything, I'm happy with that.
That would definitely be good.
And I know that a modern baseball fan will likely see this and think, "Oh, you're talking about a rebuild. You're talking about the one year tanking." But remember, there's no draft. There's no real free agency in the way that we have it now, where you would have to dump well, you don't have to dump salary, where owners want to dump salary. There's none of that. You basically just sign players at the end of the year. It's a reserve clause. Uh, you can put whatever salary you want to them. In fact, the Navegadores and the Tumbabrazos, as far as I know, are the only teams that are signing their star players to extensions. And it's very weird that only one team has figured out that you can do that to keep a player happy. Sorry,
Yeah,
two
it is
teams have
weird.
figured that out.
Hmm.
And I would argue, in the case of the Navegadores, to depress salary.
Oh yeah, that does make sense.
Several of their players are so the baseline that they used, which at the time seemed quite generous, is By the time you are 30, you should be making an even 3,000 pesos. There are guys that are 20 and signing for 4,000 now. Just a
Mhm.
few years after all those deals got signed.
Wild.
Yeah. So it's on the one hand, we could not have really expected that the huge talent influx from abroad was going to drive salaries up that fast. Nobody expected, a Welsh shortstop to be one of the best players in Liga Ostos this soon into the century.
Yeah.
That was not a bet that anybody was making. Nobody was expecting a Russian dude in Umagao to be hitting. He's at 35 homers right now. So he will, in fact, definitely break the single season record.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
He needs one to tie it. He needs two to break it, and he's on pace for like 50. It's
Oh,
absurd.
yeah. Well, good for him.
Yeah, indeed. We should get into this game. As you can see, there's the usual thing where the Navegadores should have the advantage at almost every position. We'll see how much that avails them during the actual game.
Hmm.
We're going to get into this. Okay, good. We are back in the usual display after a week where we had the Bucherones a la carga and things were a little bit strange. So you have to excuse us if things are a little bit janky at first while we figure everything out.
Yeah. Hopefully the players can keep their uniforms this time. It was nice of the game, though, when I say keep their uniforms. They weren't nude when they didn't have them, but they were just a black void of where their clothes would be.
Yes, they had all fallen into. I started this joke and I don't remember what the Lord Huron song that talks about a pure black void is. Is it V
That
Noir?
could be. I want to say yes, but also that could easily be 20 of their songs, so.
I also think it's a pure white void, if I'm honest.
Good stuff.
Yes. Well, we're gonna move on from that so that everybody ignores how I don't know one of my favorite bands as well as I should.
Listen, music, you get a vibe from a band. You don't remember all the details. That's how it is.
If you say so. I generally try to remember the lyrics, but okay, we'll go with your way for now. Just so I mentioned that this has been a sad month of baseball. There have been some very embarrassing losses. They got swept in a couple of series by teams that should have been inferior to them. Every pitcher has been knocked around several times by their opposing teams. It's been a pretty bad scene. Ted Balloon here, after most of a season of being very, very good at not giving up ball four, suddenly became very allergic to that.
Ah, darn.
And Jan Pykos has suddenly become allergic to getting the third out if there is a man on base, to a point that it was almost predictable during some games, which is not
Hmm.
what you want.
No.
But worst of all, Everton's Stack, our Jamaican
Oh,
ace,
yes.
tore his meniscus a few weeks ago, so he's on the bench for another 4 months, which means he will not be around for a playoff push, which is a real problem because he was basically an automatic win button last year.
Yeah, that's really a shame. We had a couple of times this year where a player was injured severely enough to be out for months. And that's always a blow to morale.
Indeed. We will say that Everton, we don't think the lack of a rehab assignment is what hurt him, but we did take it more carefully with Kareem Anbar, who is almost certainly going to have to pitch tonight.
Hmm.
And he's back from the minor leagues, and he is just as good as he always was. He came in, and since he's been back, I think he's pitched about only about 3, 4 innings. He's a bullpen guy in 1905 with a team whose pitching rotation is supposed to be good. You're not going to see a ton of use, but he just keeps striking guys out. I think he's struck out 31 to 5 walks and something like 4 hits allowed, maybe.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, he's one of the best relievers in baseball. It'll be if they make a deep playoff run, I can only imagine that he will be a big part of why.
Mhm.
Anyway, before we get started, get first pitches in and all that, we need a word from our sponsors. Louisa, who am I talking about?
You must be talking about our most venerable sponsor, the one we celebrate above all others, and that is Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar Liquor. Folks, 50,000 patients have been cured over 10 years with this elixir. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments, all cured. It helps with consumption and bladder catarrh. That's inflammation. It purifies overhumored blood, and it whets the appetite for fattening. Important. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar liquors. Accept no substitutes. And, of course, you can find it sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Giametti at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Thank you very much, Louisa. And here's hoping Ted Balloon is not going to have to be drinking a bottle of wood tar liquor during the game today. We're hoping he got that done before the game, if we're being honest.
Yeah, that would be good.
The starting lineups tonight. First, for the visiting Mulos de Aguas Buenas, batting leadoff and playing second base, number 24, Thomas Larue. Batting second and playing first base, number 16, Viriato Fresquez. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 18, Ernesto Guerrero. Batting fourth and catching, number 12, Morgan Staff. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 15, Odiseo Altamirano. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 6, Felipe Morales. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 4, Dare O'Connor. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 20, Spike Shannon. Hey, this is a game with 2 spikes in it. How amazing is that?
No. Oh. Well, it's kind of, we always say Spike doesn't need a nickname, but maybe he does.
Batting ninth and playing center field, number 8, Esquilo Chavez. I would like to note, by the way, that the Mulos are one of the few teams as international as the Navegadores. Their leadoff hitter is Haitian. And after that, we've got a Welsh catcher at batting fourth here. We've also got Dare O'Connor, who I believe is, we're going to have to correct that flag, but he is from Ireland, at shortstop. And Spike right. Shannon in the United States. We did recently discover that even if you do move, even if you disable, quote-unquote, Northern Irish as a nationality that would exist, the players retain that. So you have to go manually one by one. And that is, as it turns out, not as easy as you would think to change. So we will be doing that, but it's going to be kind of a weekend project. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we've got Esquilo Chavez and the rest. They're Puerto Rican. But, of course, if you want to talk about an international team, as Philippine says in the chat, very baseball. You want to talk about a truly international team, then you got to sail in international waters. And that is exactly what the lineup of your Navegadores de Naguabo are up to. Because batting leadoff and playing shortstop, number 6 from Calle, which is just a few miles away from our beautiful park here in Naguabo, it's Benigno Valdez.
Benji.
Batting second and playing right field, number 56 from Veracruz in Mexico, it's Frank del Castillo.
Diablo Rojo.
Batting third and playing left field, number 37 from Aguas Buenas, in fact, and he used to play for the Mulos, Vidal Santiago.
The barber.
I would also like to note that, speaking of barbering, he shaved his mustache off.
Oh, wow. He looks so much younger.
He does. Batting fourth, and the designated hitter, number 18, and he is 18, from Musselburgh, Scotland, Declan Milne. We have not... Did we decide on a nickname for my man here?
I said his bat should be called the 100-Acre Wood, but I don't think we came up with a nickname for him.
The
No.
the problem is that I think I said last time that it's more like his batting makes me feel like Eeyore,
Yes.
which is, by the way, how all of his at bats will be announced tonight until he does something correctly.
You gotta shame him into it.
Exactly. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 12 from Hay in New South Wales, Wally Bach.
The human ripcord.
Batting sixth and playing second base, number 4 from Hampton, New Hampshire, Etaoin Sherdlu.
The font of wisdom.
I like that we got into a discussion about this last time, and we had to explain that it's because he used to work as a printer, and he's the oldest guy on the roster.
Yes.
Well,
Which is great backstory for his eccentric name.
indeed. It's somebody joked that he probably put under his mother's name Lorem Ipsum.
Yes, that would make sense.
Wait, I think it would be even better if his parents were both named. If it was his mom was Lorem Sherdlu and his dad was Ipsum Sherdlu.
His dad was a Sphinx of Black Courts, Judge My Vow, Sherdlu.
I don't think his dad was. I don't think they had come up with the Tumblr pangrams yet.
Yes, fair enough. You do want to test all those letters, though, for a printing press, for
That
sure.
is true. You know what I've never looked up is what the pangram would be in Spanish. This has never even occurred to me.
Oh, wow, it must be something. It must be something exciting.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out in a bit. Batting seventh and playing first base from Louisville, Kentucky, number 16, Rob Feaster.
The Grackle.
Batting eighth and playing center field, number 27, from Newcastle upon Tyne. I will not even bother to do the accent, Graham Underwood.
Ham.
I am now imagining that he talks like a male version of Sarah Millican, which is very funny.
I mean, not too far off, I'd say.
That's how she usually gets reported when she's on panel shows and so on, if they don't want to get into like the specifics of her town.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm just imagining that same kind of like the high pitches and the storytelling tone. That would be very fun, I would imagine.
Yes.
The Puerto Ricans would be like, when you talk, you sing more than we do.
It's very funny. It's funny that the Newcastle has the Geordie accent has a reputation of being like. You're right. It is quite lyrical, but the people have a reputation of being like hardworking, blue collar, coal town people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a real juxtaposition there.
It is. Again, because the Puerto Rican accent it also has that reputation, and so do the people. It almost begins to feel like those two. It feels like they often go together, in fact. I wonder.
I guess that's true. Welsh people also coal miners, and they have a great poetic lineage as well.
Indeed. Yes. Turns out your children might yearn for the mines, but your hearts yearn for verse.
That's right.
And now that we've justified colonialism by two different empires, batting ninth and catching number 0 from Bahia Blanca, Argentina, Spike Stonehand.
The man who needs no nickname until now.
Yeah, well, I don't even want to give him. I think we've only got the two Spikes, and the Argentinian Spike versus the American Spike should do for us. Because definitely what you expect when you hear that a guy is Argentinian is that his name is Spike Stonehand. And
From railroad spikes, do you think that's where they're getting these nicknames?
I actually have never looked into why you would nickname a guy Spike.
Fair enough. It seems like if you were good at, I mean, you'd probably be good at batting with this as well, but if you're good at swinging that hammer to drive those spikes, you might be a spike.
Very often, spikes is used to refer to cleats in baseball.
True. Okay,
So I wonder if the collegiate MVP award is called the Golden Spikes Award.
That's very good. I like that.
So now I'm wondering if it originally referred to maybe a guy who was particularly... It would presumably refer to a guy who was particularly good on the base paths, But that's
That's true.
baseball, and I assume the guys were nicknamed Spike off the baseball park. You know?
The thing is, if it's like the real world where things are not as poetic as you want them to be, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably that when he was 16, he had a new pair of cleats, and another kid made fun of him by calling him Spike, and that was just it.
Sure. Yeah, I would fully believe that, to be honest with you. Sorry, I'm looking at what a Spanish pangram would be very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you find any?
I did. I don't think these are. Okay, let's see here. Well, I found a bunch of them, but none of them seems to be um, authoritative.
Mm. Okay, there's not like
Oh
a
wait,
quick
here we
brown
go.
fox jumped over the lazy
Yes,
dog type of
I
one.
may have just found one. Give me 1 second. I'm almost there. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Um, this is. Oh wow. Okay, see, here's the thing. In
Uh-huh.
Spanish, of course, you also have to test accents.
Oh, they test all the accents.
So
Oh wow. Okay.
prepare for this.
Okay.
Benjamín pidió una bebida de kiwi y fresa. Noé, sin vergüenza, la más exquisita champaña del menú. Which is, Benjamin
Mm-hmm.
ordered a kiwi and strawberry drink. Noah, without shame, the most exquisite champagne on the menu. So it uses all of the diacritics and
I
K
love
and
that.
W, which are not common in Spanish, at least not in uh, continental Spanish, European Spanish.
Wow, that is amazing. And if it's a kiwi strawberry drink, I have to think this takes place in the 90s. That was really the epitome of kiwi strawberry flavoring.
Here's the one that's used in Microsoft Windows if you set the language to Spanish.
Okay.
And, well, here we go. El veloz murciélago hindú
Oh, that.
comía feliz cardillo y kiwi. La cigüeña tocaba el saxofón
Oh.
detrás del palenque de paja. The quick Indian bat, so there's quickness again,
Uh-huh.
was happily eating cardillo, no idea what that is, and kiwi. The stork was playing the saxophone behind the straw palenque, and I should know what a palenque is because that is a name of several towns across the Caribbean, but I never remember off the top of my head. Oh, it's a stockade,
Oh, okay.
a
I was gonna
fence.
say is it related to palanquin, but apparently not. Wow, okay.
I actually would not be shocked if it was, but then I would wonder where palanquin got
Oh,
its
like
name.
to be covered, a way to be concealed, maybe? I don't know. I'm
It
just
has to do.
checking.
This has to do with sticks. Palo.
Interesting. I can see the fact that both used kiwi. That you're right. That's the sound letters that they needed to find another word to fit in there.
Yes. So you do wonder if. Oh, interesting. Okay, Cardillo,
Okay.
theoretically, according to this, it is derived from a word that means goldfinch, which I guess makes
Ah,
sense, but I feel like there's got to be more to it than that. We're doing a deep dive on this. We're not letting it go.
yeah. This was all about birds,
Yes,
I guess.
I knew
Okay.
it, I knew it was a plant, because it is a cardo is already a plant. So
Okay. Some type of plant. All right.
yeah, and that's what I'm trying to find because I used to know what a cardo was in Spanish,
Hmm.
but I don't right now. Oh, this could be a number of different ones.
Yeah, that's the problem with simple names for plants. There's always like 10 plants with that name.
Mm-hmm. And none of this is in English. There are a number of different plants that this could be, but the point is they are all spiky.
Okay.
Cardoon would be one. Thistle, perhaps, might be one of those.
Okay. Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Even outside shot might be artichoke.
Oh.
I I
Was there a
don't
food
think
component?
so.
I forget the plot. There was someone playing. A stork was playing a saxophone. I remember that part.
Yes, Clinton, the stork plays the sax. Yes, very Animaniacs.
Yes. But a
And
bat was eating a delicious something.
it was eating cardillo and kiwi, and it was happy
Okay.
about it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to do more research on that later because right now we have to introduce our pitcher.
Yep, that's right.
Pitching for the Navegadores tonight, number 2, from Conroe's Switch, which is now the Woodlands, Texas, Ted Balloon.
Loony balloony.
Also known as the Wild Man of Naguabo. He is 22-4 on the season, 245 innings pitched, over which he has struck out 204, given up 62 walks, the area of 2.13. He will face Thomas Larue, who for a while there we thought was never going to strike out this year. He was one of the last players to have a strikeout on the line this year. Pretty impressive, really. And he is still batting .259, OPS of .672, no home runs, 44 runs batted in. Let's see what we've got here. Cloudy with rain, so it's another day in Naguabo. Temperature is 30 degrees, though, and the wind is blowing out to center, so things ought to be interesting. Ham Underwood's going to have some trouble with that. He's been having some issues out there in center field. We're not sure what's going on with him. Last year, he was the Acutissimo out there in center field. He was actually a very good fielder, but something has sapped his confidence this year.
Ugh, sad. There's that grotto. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Ted Balloon taking the mound to continue his current stretch of getting back on form. He's been quite good as he gets a whiff on a fastball. Don't tell me you're going to crash one pitch, Ed.
Uh-oh.
Nope, we're good for now. 0-1. Swung on, hit, lined into right center, and Ted's already going to have some trouble. Ham Underwood trying to corral that one. He's got it, picks it up, makes the throw. And see, the one thing I will say is that this year, that could have been an out. There are years when if you have to wait for the outfielder to pick it up, you know it's going to go badly. But this time he actually had to beat that throw. The one thing that this outfield has proven very good at is killing runners on the base paths.
Okay, well that's good.
Which is good.
I noticed it hit the wall, so it was really close to possibly having been a home run.
Maybe. I don't think LaRue has that kind of power. In fact, he hasn't hit a single home run all year. He's much more of a doubles and triples guy. In fact, if anything, his strategy would be hit it against the wall, run it out.
Okay.
And now coming up, it's Viriato Fresquez, who is hitting .319, OPS of .749, no home runs, 43 runs batted in. We will say that Ted does have a kind of a tendency to let a run score in the first inning and then kind of lock it down, so we'll see how well that goes. But forkball outside, 0-1, looking strike there, which he follows with a fastball strike, 0-2. Quick 1-2 on Viriato Fresquez. Let's see if he'll finish him off. Let's get this third strike, maybe. Not quite. Misses just outside with a forkball, and it's 1-2. Fresquez hits that one into right field. That will score the run and put Fresquez himself on base. Well, Ted tried there, but unfortunately, 6 pitches into the game, he's got a man on with no outs and a run scored on him already. Back-to-back base hits for the top of the Mulos lineup.
Darn.
And he's not out of the woods yet, because here comes Ernesto Guerrero, who's hitting .314, OPS of .801, no home runs and 58 runs batted, and has 1 hit in 3 at-bats against Ted, with a man on first and no outs. And there he goes, poking it again down the right field line. I think this is going to go foul, though. And you really can't blame Ted. He's throwing in the zone. He's trying to get the strikes.
He's really doing it for once.
Throws again. That is up the middle. Sherdlu tries for it, but it'll go to the outfield. And it's 3 base hits in a row for the top of the lineup with no outs yet. So 2 on with no outs for Ted. 8 pitches into the game, who is suddenly looking appropriately upset. as he now has to face Morgan Staff, who is hitting 251, OPS of 647, 2 home runs, 37 runs batted in. If he can at least get the 1 out, he'd really have improved. Morgan Staff 3 for 11 against the Navegadores, as that fastball misses low, 1-0. Curveball. He got the call there. He was able to get strike 1 looking. Staff whiffs on... Oh, no. He does strike it and sends it foul. It'll be 1-2. Let's see if Ted, having once again secured the second strike, can get his man out this time. Give himself a little breathing room. He does!
Woo!
Ted Balloon gets his first K of the game against Morgan Staff on a fastball inside and dims that flame just the tiniest bit. He will now face former Marinero, Odiseo Altamirano. I'm surprised you didn't comment on his name when I was reading the lineups.
I was a little distracted, but that is an excellent name.
It really is. There's been a lot of jokes recently about, something like, of course, it seems weird that the Odyssey happened to a guy named Odysseus. Makes you think.
Yeah, right. Odysseus looking at that book cover like, uh-oh, what's going to happen now?
No, Odysseus is looking at his crew, and he's all, welcome, my faithful crewmen. We are about to embark on the Odyssey, this famous journey, which only one person will survive. And all the crewmen are like, hang on, what?
Yeah.
So here he comes. He's batting 243, OPS of 639, 4 homers, and 40 runs batted in. So Ted not quite out of the woods yet, as he's got to avoid that. Vidal Santiago coming in to grab that first pitch fly out, and he's got it. As Benji goes over to discuss things with Bach, catches it on the fly, and that's 2 outs. Let's see if he can finish off the frame against Felipe Morales, who's got him 1 hit and 6 ABs off of him. Average of 231, OPS of 537, no home runs, and 32 runs batted in. 2 on and 2 out for Aguas Buenas here in the top of the first. Ted once again gets a marginal call on the fastball away on 1. Then gets a whiff on another fastball. And let's see if we'll break out the curveball or the forkball to get his last strike. He went to the changeup and missed. Trying to get that chase. He likes to what?
He likes sticking with them even when they're not working.
He sure does. 1-2. Fouls that one off. That will extend the at-bat. A forkball there and in the zone. Come on, Ted. Finish it off. Ugh! Misses low with a second forkball. 2-2. Deuce is wild. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That is hit on the line to Ham Underwood, and he's running after it, but that's going to land fair.
Oh, boy.
That should score at least 1 run, and it might even manage to score 2. As Benji runs in the wrong direction, and indeed that is a 2-run base hit. Fresquez and Guerrero are able to come home on the double from Felipe Morales. Aguas Buenas extends their lead to 3-0 here in the top of the first. And Ted has a hole to dig out of. Or more accurately, his lineup has a hole to dig out of. Shortstop, Darryl Connor.
I noticed the Mulos were not particularly good at their positions defensively. Are they really good at batting? Is this what's happening?
The Felipe thing was a little lucky. The top of the lineup, they have their top 3 is very good. LaRue is your stereotypical contact hitter. Fresquez is a great overall hitter, as is Guerrero. They're 2 of the best in the game at that. Staff, Altamirano are your power bats. They can hit dingers, basically. Felipe just got lucky on this one. I mean, he's not a bad hitter. I don't want to say that, but he's not great in this lineup. They're really relying on these guys and then having a couple of very good pitchers this year anyway. Manuel Cortez is a legit star pitcher. Gregorio Salazar, whom we're going to meet in a bit, hopefully, he has a 15-7 record. The Mulos this year are like 6 games above 500.
That's wild.
Yes, it's very weird. They're still not going to make the playoffs, but it's very weird. And by the way, if you want to talk about somebody who's very, very good defensively, we're talking about shortstop Daryl Connor, who's hitting 231, OPS of 560, no home runs, 37 runs batted in, and has never gotten a hit off of Ted Balloon in 11 at-bats. But he is rated a full 100 on defense. He is one of the best defensive shortstops in the game. Huge part of why the Mulos are so much better this year.
Oh, wow. Let's see what he does then.
Rolls that one right back to Ted. Let's see if he gets the throw off in time. And he finally does. That's the end of the inning after Aguas Buenas puts 3 runs on the board. The Navegadores will have to fight back from a position of weakness right there in the bottom of the frame. Do you think they can do this?
I'm nervous. I was feeling pretty confident in the beginning, knowing they were the better team, and I thought they're not so much better that they will get overconfident, so they can do this. And now, I don't know if they can do this.
Yeah, they've got the one salve is that they've got 9 innings of this, and they have an actual bullpen. I say that, but let's check. Oh boy. Well, 3 of these guys are. Oh hey, Gabe Middleton. I didn't know he was over here now. He used to be a Rey.
Oh, okay.
They have an okay bullpen, is what I would say. Not as good, but that does mean that unless the Navegadores really dominate them, unless they get those runs back and then some, then the bullpen is just not gonna matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So let's make sure this doesn't happen. And really, what's hurting the Naves this year is that your pinch hitting options are Felix Bucar, fine, Pablo Salmeron, good when he's on, terrible when he's not, and this asshole. He has not gotten a hit in 17 games.
Oh no!
He is hitting .087 for the year.
Wow. Is this his first year with them?
Second.
What's going on?
This man was on the championship team.
Was he just carried along by other excellence?
Clearly. And speaking of other excellence, we've got Benji Valdez first up to bat. He's hitting 289, OPS of 788, 2 home runs, both of which he hit in the same game, and one of which was a grand slam. And 52 runs batted in, and he faces Gregorio Salazar, who has pitched 228 innings, has gone 15-7, ERA of 2.76, has 71 strikeouts to 72 walks. That's right, he's walked one more guy than he struck out, but don't worry, the Navegadores will fix that shortly. See here, Gregorio Salazar, holding hitters to a 249 average, and with the free swinging ways of our beloved Navegadores, we'll see what's going to happen as that fastball misses inside 1-0. There we go. He swings through the changeup. Salazar, by the way, we haven't met him. Fastball, curveball, changeup, and sinker. Like Ted, the changeup is the money pitch here, though it's not quite as good as Ted's. But it may not need to be against this lineup, and we always like to check on Morgan's staff. He's a good defensive catcher. There's a reason the Mulos specifically went after his contract, even though he wasn't great when they first got him. He used to play for Derby in the British leagues. 1-1 count. As Salazar misses with that sinker, 2-1. So let's see if the bats can show up. As Philly mentions, the bats have to be more awake than they were last time. And that throw is... Are you serious?
What?
Just by a hair. Valdez is out on that one. I thought for sure that was going to be an infield hit.
He was really toying with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's an out, and the bases remain empty for Frank de Castillo, who's hitting .328, OPS of 864, 1 home run on the year, and 81 runs batted in. 4 pitches for Gregorio Salazar. And if you're wondering, the official play-by-play definitely is in the tank for the Mulos, because it made sure to mention that Gregorio has been economical with his pitches today, less than 1 at-bat into the game.
Okay.
0-1 count as that fastball is called a strike. Francisco del Castillo sends that one foul. It would be very weird to be in 1905 and just be a Mexican guy named straight up Frank, right?
What? Sorry, what did you just say?
It
What's
would be
weird?
it would be weird to be a Mexican guy in 1905 just straight up named Frank, right?
Yeah, you have to wonder where he played that people might have called him Frank, and then he stuck with it. I guess
Sailing ships, I guess. I can't imagine anywhere else.
that would make sense.
Anyway, it's an 0-2 count, 2 strikes on our dear Frank. As Salazar then misses with a fastball, 1-2. Misses again with a fastball, 2-2. Frank here developing some patience, and ooh, look at that. He worked the full count. So here are the 6 words everyone loves to hear during a baseball game. This will be a payoff pitch. Frank lines that one. That's way too high. That's going to land directly in the left fielder's glove there. Easy peasy for Spike Shannon. He's got it, and that's out number 2. Bases remain empty for the now mustache-less Vidal Santiago. Hitting .291, OPS of .788, no home runs, 66 runs batted in. Gregorio Salazar sitting on 10 pitches with 2 outs and the bases empty behind them. Vidal Santiago against this old team is just 2 for 12. And you can see why as he fouls off a fastball that was outside of the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Really trying to get his revenge on his old team and not doing so hot. As that is hit out to right field, and it is unfortunately not going to land. Altamirano will be there. So the side is retired. The Navegadores go down in order, and after 1 inning, Aguas Buenas remains ahead 3-0. We're going to let everybody know that that's how things are shaking out.
Yeah, doesn't seem great that they got the side over so quickly there.
No, it does not. That is in fact, I would say, the definition of suboptimal. It's very unfortunate.
I want to tell everybody that both the teams we see playing today have mascots that were drawn up, and we are going through a mascot bowl right now with the LNP. So more teams will have mascots soon. We are almost halfway done the entire league.
And actually, when these teams come in, we will be more than halfway done.
Oh, so exciting.
Yeah, this is one of our favorite projects. Luis, I think you've... How many have we officially finished at this point? 4?
We've done 5 of the ones for the current bowl. Is that what you mean?
Oh, 5. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
We won't reveal which 5 because we don't... we're managing expectations here, right?
We're managing our own expectations as well, because we tend to
Very
start
true.
with the ones that are easiest to conceptualize, and then we get into ones that were harder initially, but sometimes we come out with results that we like even better. So you never know who your favorite's going to be until you see them all.
I think this one to me is... It's a particularly interesting mascot bowl because we're getting... Some of these are mascots that have been voted for several times, and they just barely missed the cut. So,
Yes.
after 2, 3, 4 attempts, they're finally going to be in. It's very exciting. Still kind of annoyed that the Raiders aren't one of them. And we still need to actually pair up. And at some point, we need to do 2 extra Ostos mascots. Right now, Betances has the edge by 2. And when that happens, if we do those extra ones before Mascot Bowl 5, which will be in 2026, then we will be done with 2/3 of the league at that point.
Wow. Amazing.
And
I always like seeing a team's name and knowing that I know what their mascot looks like. That's great.
So
So buttons.
Cy Studley. That's a guy. He is, first base coach in Cabo Rojo, I believe. Right now?
What's happening? What?
Cy Studley is a real person. And, well, I believe he also played baseball in our universe.
I have heard you mention the name before.
Yeah, he was nicknamed Warhorse, and he was also known as Seam Studley.
Okay.
And here's why I know about him. He was from Rochester, New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he was born in Byron, which is in Genesee County, a bit to the west of here, but he was officially from Rochester. He played for the 1872 Washington Nationals in our reality, but if I do remember correctly, that's his current job. Let me see if I can pull up the Cabo Rojo page real quick while I'm posting this.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting for a country that, got invaded by the United States. How many American coaches there are just hanging around? Cabo Rojo personnel. Oh, they fired him, unless he was never on that team to begin with. But I'll tell you who is there. The manager of the Cabo Rojo Combatientes is I hate that mustache, but his name is Dick Hunt.
Terrible.
Pretty good.
If you said that was your name and you called into a radio station, they would hang up on you because they know a prank call when they hear one.
I was going to say, yeah, we were talking about this the other day. We watched 2001 A Space Odyssey. And the main character of the first part of that film is named Haywood Floyd. And that is the least 2001 name ever.
Yeah, it really is.
And obviously we made the joke about it being a prank name. And I'm going, if it were the prank name that everybody knows that goes after Haywood, that would be a more realistic name for 2001 than Haywood Floyd.
Yes, you're right, it would. It would be very Star Wars.
If you pronounce it like the vowels are in Italian or something.
Yeah. And I know Star Wars, before anyone gets on my case, I know Star Wars was a long time ago, but also...
I think you'll find it was a long, long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away.
How the music used to make me smile.
There we go. Spike Shannon leads off the top of the second. He's batting 189, OPS of 456. Does have a home run and 14 runs batted in. So let's see how he lights up Ted, who in one inning of 20 pitches allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, and just the 1 strikeout. Shannon whiffs right through that fastball. Let's see. Has he faced Balloon? Twice, and he has not gotten a hit either time. So there's a first time for everything, I guess. Changeup misses the zone, but that doesn't matter because he also misses the swing on it. It's 0-2. See if Ted can lock him down here. Nope. Shannon fouls that one off. Man, these third strikes are just not happening for Ted tonight. See oh, God!
Oh, no, come on! No! Ted.
Misses inside with a changeup. That's the third time Spike Shannon has been hit this season. And here comes Esquilo Chavez, a man that you do not want to put on the base paths if you can avoid it.
Ted's going to hit him. Ted's going to hit him, too. What do you bet?
Probably.
Yeah.
Doc Ellis hit like 4 guys in a row one time.
Was this when he was on
no.
LSD?
No,
on LSD?
He was. He was. Okay. The evidence for that is spotty, despite the fact that he tells the story and so does everybody else. But apparently there's like something about like where he claims he was staying. There's no way he could have made it to the state. Something about that. Okay. Point is, no, this was different. This was the Reds had been jawing at the Pirates, and so he decided that he was just going to hit every Red who came up to bat. And he sure did. Man. He drilled every single one of them until he got taken out.
Jeez.
So here comes Esquilo Chavez hitting 217, OPS of 529, no home runs, 23 runs batted in. Let's see how he beats Ted to base. Shannon, there's a pickoff attempt, but I think Shannon is back. 1-0 on the curveball missing. Balloon then sends his own pickoff to first base, but Shannon is back. 1-0 count still. Great.
Oh, they didn't catch
That's banged out to center field, and Underwood has to uncork a long throw that does nothing to hold Shannon. So there will be runners on the corners with no outs for the top of the lineup, which we can say decisively beat the crap out of Ted Balloon last time they were up.
Wow, this is not going well.
No, it is not. So we are going to start warming up our bullpen. As LaRue comes up, he is 1-for-1, having hit a triple last time he came up. Ted was doing... See, last time, as that forkball misses low and outside, last time we saw Ted pitch, it wasn't surprising how hard he got hit. He was really struggling. But he's been back for a few games now. As he fires that one to first, 1-0 once again. See, and now he's pitching careful because he doesn't want to get hit hard again. Yeah. So that fastball misses low and outside, 2-0, and attempts another pickoff. He's trying to bait Chavez into trying to steal, try to get him thrown out there.
Yeah.
Attempts another pickoff, 2-0 still. And misses again. It's a hitter's count for LaRue, so we should be expecting the walk next up. Do my eyes deceive me? Did Ted Balloon just go for the gentleman's strike?
Did he?
He did. He threw a curveball right down the middle.
Oh, all right.
3-1 count. So he is interested in getting the out, which is new.
Yeah.
And he gets the second strike. Fastball at the knees.
Wow.
It's a full count, so this will be a payoff pitch for Ted Balloon.
Oh, that was some good baseball.
LaRue hits that one. It goes to Valdez. He's got it on the line drive.
Nice.
Out number 1. Here comes Fresquez, who was 1-for-1 with a ribby last time he came up. Runner still in the corners and 1 out, so we are not remotely out of the woods yet. But there goes Ted. He is, just barely low with the changeup, and the ump does not give it to him. 1-0. Is he going to get that call? He will. The changeup, which actually missed by more than the previous one did. He gets the strike call and evens the count. 1-1 now. You have got to be kidding me. Viriato Fresquez' second hit of the game overmatches 2 outfielders there and is easily down for extra bases. That should score 2 more runs, as it'll be a triple. The second one hit off of Ted already in 2 innings, and Aguas Buenas leads it 5-0.
They seem really demoralized. Like, what was that? They held that ball in the outfield a long time before throwing it back.
They sure did. Ernesto Guerrero comes up. He is 1-for-1 on the day. Man on third with 1 out. Great. That is lined. First pitch through the gap in the right side of the infield. And that is going to be down for extra bases. And he is... Yep. How is he safe?
Because they can't lose tonight, it seems.
It's a stand-up double, and the Mulos now lead 6-0. Man on second with a 1 out. Ted Balloon at 36 pitches. His ERA has increased by 21 ticks since the beginning of this game.
Good Lord.
He's allowed 7 hits, 6 earned runs, and 1 strikeout.
If you bring in a new pitcher soon, early on in the game, does it still count against Ted as a loss if the team loses?
Yes, it does.
Or how does that work?
Well, if the team loses, yes. You can always get the loss. You can only get the win as a starting pitcher if you went 5 innings, which is a silly rule, but whatever.
So, hypothetically, if in the next inning you added a new pitcher instead and they won, Ted wouldn't get the win? The
Correct.
New pitcher would get the win? Okay.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Morgan Staff is up. He's 0-for-1 on the day. Man on second and 1 out. Ted's pitch spins away from Stonehand, a fastball that got away from him there, and Guerrero makes it to third because that's the kind of game we're playing. 1-0 count, man on third, and 1 out. Staff watches a changeup miss low, 2-0. Cracks that one, it's a line drive. That's going to find grass. 8th hit of the ball game for the Mulos. And Underwood's going to get rid of that throw as fast as he can, but it looks like, it's going to be a single. Staff will actually hold up on the one, and Aguas Buenas has now more than doubled their score in one inning.
Incredible.
Ted's going to finish this inning by hook or by crook. So, man on first and one out. Odiseo Altamirano is up. He is 0 for 1 on the day. As Ted there sends in the fastball on 1. One of the most frustrating parts of this season, as that second fastball is in there on 2, has been watching pitchers who are supposed to be great, hitters who are supposed to be great, just get absolutely overmatched this year left and right. You'll have pitchers who are, I don't want to reduce them to a number, but you'll have pitchers who are like 55 rating, and they'll dominate. And hitters who are 71, 72 are hitting not just under 300, but under 300 by a long shot, and then not hitting dingers either.
Ah, jeez.
So this year is very, very strange in a lot of ways. It kind of feels like something just kind of went wrong mechanically with baseball there.
Yeah, it does.
0-2 count.
It's not our hopes that are wrong. It's the baseball that's wrong.
Yes, the fault is not in our stars, but in baseball. The curveball misses low, and so does that forkball. 2-2. Altamirano fouls that one off. So we'll stay with the at-bat, and you know what happens when we get to the second strike in this game. As he attempts a pickoff for fun at this point, I guess. Got him! Down he goes on the changeup. That's something. And here comes Felipe Morales, who decisively beat Ted last time, went 1 for 1 with 2 ribbies. His second hit off of Ted Balloon in 7 ABs. With a man on and 2 outs, let's see if he can beat Felipe Morales this time. Curveball is in there for strike 1. As is that curveball, 0-2. Now, can he finish Morales this time? No, he cannot. He misses low with the changeup, 1-2. We'll try this again after another pickoff attempt to Morgan's staff. So we're staying at 1-2. And that is hit past Eto and Sherlew, who doesn't even try to field it.
Yeah. He didn't even reach.
It'll be another single, the 9th hit of the game, the second for Felipe Morales tonight. And he will face Dare O'Connor, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Ted Balloon about to throw his 50th pitch. I was going to say, let's at least let him get to 50 pitches. And I wasn't paying attention to his pitch count, but he's going to be done after this inning, no matter what, apparently.
Yeah.
2-1 and 2 out for Dare O'Connor, who checks his swinging time on the fastball and gets the call because, sure, why not? Oh, is that a check swing too? No, it's not. That was obviously a swing. It's a fastball, and he misses 1-1. He checks his swing again, and of course he's going to get the call on the fastball. 2-1.
Don't like that.
That's hit hard to Wally Balk, who finally gets to do something in this game. He throws to second to end the inning. And it is over. Good Lord Almighty. It is over after Aguas Buenas scores another 4 times to make their lead 7-0. And here in the bottom of the second, at this point it's more about preserving some kind of respectability than anything else. Here comes Declan Milne, who is hitting .296, OPS of .695, 2 home runs, and 53 runs batted in. But don't let that fool you. Most of that is when he was still with the Tejedores.
Oh, boy.
Something has gone deeply wrong with the hitting coaching in Naguabo. They just seem completely unable to get these guys to actually improve at the plate here. Navegadores on a side through 1 inning of 12 pitches. If they somehow do manage to make this happen, I'll be beyond impressed.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening because that was a fastball, perfect pitch to swing on, and he didn't. 0-1. 2 quick strikes, the second one quite marginal. And Salazar might not be able to get the third strike, but as Milne there, see what happens when you can feel the ball? Oh, never mind, he
Oh,
can't.
you spoke too soon.
That ball goes rolling all the way to the dugout. And LaRue overthrows that one. It's an error. And
I
Milne
see
takes second.
the crowd's wearing a lot of dazzle camouflage tonight.
Maybe that's the problem. Ted can't see against that.
Yeah.
Here comes, with a man on second and no outs, here comes Wally Balk, who is hitting 232, OPS of 673, and holds the current record, I believe, for home runs by Navegador with 14. Would sure be nice if number 15 was tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Sinker is called a strike, 0-1. Salazar then misses with that sinker, 1-1. Wally Balk swings on a changeup away, 1-2. See if Salazar gets his... And he got him. Struck him out with a fastball. Told you he'd take care of it. He has now struck out as many as he has walked. Mm-hmm. Here comes Eto'o Shirley, who's had, I'm going to guess, 2 hits in 11 at-bats against Salazar. Overall, he's hitting 278, OPS of 749, 2 home runs, 56 runs batted in. As that changeup misses inside, 1-0. He's got to face 3 lefties in a row, pardon me. This might be the time to jump all over him. That curveball is called a strike, 1-1. And that fastball goes away from him, 2-1 now. Shirley fouls that one off. A fastball there, 2-2. It's low, and he sends it backwards. Sends that one, also careening, foul down the left field line and away. Man on second and 1 out here for the font of wisdom. Eto'o Shirley, 2-2 count, 1 out. Very low with the fastball. Another full count for the Navegadores. Can they cash this one in? This will be a payoff pitch. It's a walk. That'll be 2 on with 1 out for Rob Feaster, who is hitting 238, OPS of 722, 1 home run, 38 runs batted in. Recently recaptured his crown as the best defensive first baseman in the Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña.
Oh, nice.
By the way, I want to point out one thing that Declan Milne has done since he got to the Naves is he has stolen 3 bases on 4 attempts.
I love that. I love a guy who can steal a base.
Especially because his speed is 3 and his stealing ability is 2 out of 100.
Well, it must be better than it was before he had done those things.
Yeah, I don't know. 2 on with 1 out.
Exponentially higher than it was.
Outside with ball 1. I honestly think he just tricks pitchers. I don't understand why he thinks he can do it, but he's gotten caught once all year.
Nice.
1-0 count. As that fastball is in there, strike 1. That didn't look quite as down the middle as it turned out to be. Misses inside with a changeup, 2-1. He strikes on that one and sends it foul, 2-2. So here we go again. 3rd strike's the story of this game. As he lines that one into left field, it's going to land fair. Declan Milne making it to 3rd. He's going home. Spike Shannon uncorks that throw, and will they at least avoid the shutout? I believe so. As that's going to be a single. No, Shirley will make it to 3rd, and it's a double for Rob Feaster, an RBI double to make it 7-1. Rob Feaster says, screw your shutout.
All right. They could rally now.
There'll be 2 on with 1 out. Gonna go to Salazar. Facing now Graham Underwood, who enters this game at exactly 100 hits on the year. He's hitting 243, OPS of 593, 1 home run, 46 runs batted in.
He just needs to hit a home run right now.
That would be great. He is batting 2 for 12 against Aguas Buenas pitching. Sinker misses low. And that's going to be a strike. That changeup, 1-1. Hits that one right to Dare O'Connor at short. He throws it to first, and that's out number 2.
Oh boy.
Ham's issue, if you're looking at this, is everything gets hit on the ground.
Yeah. That is happening too much.
He needs to lift that ball more, and I don't really know how much. Like, his power. There are guys with less power who are hitting better than he does that are not faster than him. So the question is, what is it about his specific swing that is causing these things to happen?
Yeah, good question.
And here comes Spike Stonehand, who is 4 for 10 against Salazar and is hitting 278, OPS of 727, 2 home runs, 52 runs batted in, with 2 on and 2 outs. Let's see if he can at least bring a run home. Strike one with a sinker there. Okay, if they're ready right now, we're going to 0-1 count. That's a roller. It's going to get caught, it's going to get thrown, and sure enough, that's the third out. So after all that, hullabaloo, just the 1-run scores for the Navegadores de Naguabo. They've prevented the shutout, which I guess is something, but dang. So we're just going to once again let everybody know where we are, because, boy.
Yeah. All right, they're better at defense, the Navegadores. They need to focus up and make sure no more runs get by.
That's right.
That should be easy for them. That's their skill set. Oh, man. Are no other games being played today?
No, remember we talked about this, that my theory is that loading those games is
right.
part of what caused the crashes. Although I guess that theory is now disproven because it happened last time, and I don't think the out-of-town scoreboard was active.
Well, whatever you need to do is fine.
Wait, what did I just do? Oh, I see. Okay.
Whatever collection of actual events and superstitions can be cobbled together, that's what baseball is.
That's a very good point. Maybe restoring the scoreboard is what we need.
That'll give them their spark back.
Yeah, if they can see how other teams are doing, they'll be embarrassed into performing up to spec.
Uh-huh. Wow, high score in that game.
Jeez. Yep. Storm Peck just singled. Great name. Truly one of the great names. Alex Alcock, another great name.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do we have any other? Corker and Howell. Very good.
Wow, there's quite a few high-scoring to 0 games going on right now.
Yep. Ooh, this could be interesting. Grant Johnson is up. Ivan Peacock, good pitcher for the Marineros. We've actually looked at recruiting him before because he's Australian, but obviously that would make him a repeat. Rich Lesage, also known as Clever Dick, hit his 25th home run of the year.
Nice.
They're doing the Lord's work against the Murciélagos, so that's nice for them. All right, well, let's get back to our game. Ted Balloon. Oh, God. We're going to let him start this inning, see how it goes.
Why? Okay, listen. Why, though? Why are you letting him start?
Because we're going to need that bullpen, and if they're pitching every game, they're going to get exhausted.
All right, okay. You're the boss.
This is going to be the last one, though, pretty much no matter what. Let's see how he does against Shannon and Chavez. They both beat him last time, so I'm not... 53 pitches over 2 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 2 strikeouts, faces Spike Shannon, who got hit by pitch last time. And here's the thing, Shannon doesn't crowd the plate. That's his 3rd hit by pitch all year.
Jeez. And it looked like Ted really wanted to hit him.
It looked like he did want to hit him?
Yes, it looked like he really, really intended to hit that man.
Yeah, very strange. 0-1 count as that fastball is in there. Knocks that one fouling away. 0-2. Can he get a third strike here? He does! He sits him down on the curveball. That's out number 1. With the bases remaining empty for Esquilo Chavez, who is 1 for 1 on the day. Bases remain empty for him as Balloon puts in that strike. 0-1. Chavez swings through the fastball. 0-2. Can Ted get back-to-back outs? Can this happen? Well, not yet he can't, as he misses low with a changeup. 1-2. Misses away again with a fastball, so it's 2-2 now. As if he had pitches to waste. Chavez fouls that one down there at the plate. Another fastball, so it's 2-2. You have a changeup. Maybe you should use it.
No.
He missed low and outside, so it'll be a full count. So this will be a payoff pitch. I can't wait to see. Giving a walk up to a guy with an eye of 45 is just... He got him! He got him on a pitch inside. Back-to-back strikeouts on the curveball. Both of them. In this one on a brazen curveball.
Nice.
Here comes LaRue, who's 1 for 2. Let's see if we can get him out. I don't think he will. Oh, hello. It's a roller to Wally Bach. He's got it. Makes the throw. And Ted Balloon has a clean third.
Amazing.
Well, he bought himself the 4th. As long as he can go... without allowing a runner on base, I say keep him in there. Save the bullpen.
All right. Okay. I don't trust him. One of these rounds, one of these half innings, he's going to let like 5 runs through.
Right, so that's why I said the moment he lets the next base runner on.
Okay.
Gregorio Salazar, 36 pitches over 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. And the run was unearned because it came in on an error. Here comes the top of the lineup once again, starting with Benji Valdez, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Oh, my God. First pitch swinging, pops it directly up, and Morales has no trouble with that one. Says Philly, he just needed the bullpen to light a fire under him. There are pitchers like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Frank de Castillo.
Pride.
Frank de Castillo comes up. He is 0 for 1 on the day with 1 out and the base is empty. Last time he came up, he... You've got to be kidding me. First pitch swings... Sends it to short. O'Connor has no trouble sending that one to first, and then Castillo is out. 2 pitches and 2 outs for Gregorio Salazar. Here in the bottom of the third, Vidal Santiago 0 for 1. Can he prevent... Oh, a rain delay, of course. The only way this could get any better.
Man, oh man.
2 outs, bases empty. Can he take a pitch? He can! Imagine that. Fastball misses low, 1-0. That sinker is called a strike. 1-1. Vidal Santiago lines that one into center field, and it is going to find grass. He will be on first base after that single. Second hit of the game for the Navegadores, bringing up Declan Milne. With a man on first and 2 outs. Philly said, Ted, hot air balloon.
I get it.
Here we go. Let's see what Milne does. Salazar misses with the fastball. It's ball 1. He probably won't draw a walk.
You're really setting him up for failure here. Oh!
No, he failed. I was correct to do that.
Ugh, fine.
Listen, nothing has worked with him so far. He had like a 4-hit game a little while ago, and that did nothing.
Ugh, man. It's a shame.
Yep.
Are you gonna have to get rid of him? Do you think you're gonna get rid of him?
I mean, if I can trade him, he's only 18, so
Oh,
he's got.
maybe he'll improve.
There's that. I was more thinking about the fact that um, there's that, but also I think as a very good 18-year-old hitter, he probably could bring back some decent if we could find a player that doesn't repeat a nationality that we already have, then he
Uh huh.
could be an option basically.
Okay.
Like I'm really trying to see if there's any way Jake Getman comes to play for the Naves.
Hmm.
So after a third inning, the good news is Ted Balloon finally pitched a clean frame. The bad news is Gregorio Salazar got his first two outs on his first two pitches of his half. So after three, we are at. Okay. Putting that for everybody's benefit. We're letting everybody know how horribly this game is going.
Yep. Shall we have a word from a sponsor?
We will in just 1 second. Let me just make sure this is out so I can leave the booth in your capable hands. That got a little bit too Eeyore. That was unintentional.
Thanks for noticing.
Uh, all right. Booth is all yours, Louisa.
Thank you. Folks, I want to tell you about Densmore typewriters. Check this out, they say. Before buying any old typewriter, check out the advantages of Densmore typewriters. They write up to 4 characters at a time in any language. Densmore typewriters are the fastest, toughest, and most portable in their class, and they have the smoothest key movement of all of them. Washington, D.C.'s own Department of the Treasury uses 25. The Trans-Mississippi and International Exposition in Omaha adopted the Densmore as its official typewriter and uses 30 of them. The Milwaukee Company uses 36 Densmore typewriters. Fred Macy Company in Grand Rapids uses 59. The Ypsilanti Commercial School in Michigan uses 60. The McDonald Commercial Institute in Milwaukee uses 66. It is the official typewriter of the St. Louis World's Fair, and the Indianapolis Commercial School uses 95. Can you believe it? Modern Densmore typewriters have the type bars mounted on individual gears like on bicycles. We all love bicycles, don't we, folks? Contact Densmore's agent, Luis N. Alvarez, in Guayama. I do like the claim that it writes characters 4 at a time. Suspicious. How are you going to do that? In any language. That's a real, I'm assuming they only mean Roman alphabet languages. But then, what are we doing here, right? Like, of course it does. That's the trick. It seems like a great value added thing. Write in any language. Yes, of course you can. They'd have to put an asterisk by any language nowadays to point out it won't do the ones that use other characters.
You do have to admit, it would be very funny if a 1905 vintage typewriter had the ability to type in Cyrillic.
It just has a giant gear ball inside the size of a bowling ball so it can have all the characters on it.
That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real USA typewriter. Characters, welcome. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
God, I love typewriters.
You should collect them like Tom Hanks does. Did you know he collects typewriters?
Of course he does, and that is the most Tom Hanks thing I have ever heard. I used to have a program when I owned a MacBook that would make typewriter noises as you typed, including carriage returns when you hit enter and things like that.
Oh, that's fun. Did it have a little bell?
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I think typewriters are definitively a thing that I don't have space for, and I also have no idea where I would get ink. But I did
Yeah.
really like writing on them. Something about there's the haptic feedback, obviously.
Yeah.
The way I tell my kids is I learned to type fast by learning on keys that fought back.
Yes. That's a good point.
Uh,
I also learned to type on electric typewriters in school, but these
yeah.
had cartridges, so you'd always have to check your ink ribbon cartridge before every session.
Yes, I basically had to do that. That was one of the things my grandfather taught me. He was a completely manual accountant.
Ah,
No computers
yes.
whatsoever.
I think we've talked about this before because my grandfather was also for Oxford University. He was a
Ah,
bursar.
there you go. Did he ever get punched by Alexander Hamilton?
Not as far as I know.
Fair enough. That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
At any rate, no. So he would sometimes we would mount up and go take a bunch of his papers to the service bureau, or as it's called in Spanish, el service bureau.
Nice. Same initials.
Exactly. Well, not tech. Well, I guess the E doesn't count, but yes. Anyway, Norman and Pino are gonna begin this one in the bullpen as Ted Balloon faces Fresquez, who is 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in. I want to put it on the record that even I think this is a bad idea, but the way this game has been going, who cares?
You've registered your protest.
Exactly.
Oh, Philly says their uncle restores typewriters. A very uncle thing to do.
It
That is a
sure
very uncle
is.
thing to do.
Extremely uncle. Full. If there were a superlative adjective in Latin for uncle, this would be the thing that it would have in the dictionary. A guy
Yeah.
just restoring a typewriter.
Avuncular service would be typewriter repair.
That and making coins appear from behind your ear.
Yes.
Changeable way called a strike 0-1. Strike 2. He got 2 strikes on him, and both of them I'm pretty sure because the umpire felt bad. So this ought to be interesting. Can he get a third strike on Fresquez? The answer is no. It's the third hit of the game for Viriato Fresquez. All of them, I believe, for extra bases. Underwood gets rid of that one with a big throw to the infield, and it's a double. At least he made him slide this time. And that is going to end Ted Balloon's outing.
Finally.
On
His
the
long
10th hit allowed.
reign of
Or
treachery.
long, yeah.
Yeah, the long
60
national neighbors over.
67 pitches over 9 outs, 10 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. And he will now be replaced by, let's see, they're going to be righties for a while. So we are bringing in Francis Norman, who, despite being named after 2 kinds of Frenchmen, is from Pontypool in Wales.
Ah, interesting.
Francis Norman actually made his debut with the Navegadores, even though he had been in the Villalba system before. He got released. Let's see here. Oh boy, he had oof. He was released on opening day by Villalba. Signed contracts with a bunch of different teams, none of which apparently played him, even a bit. Is what I'm seeing here.
Interesting.
And then finally, he signed with the Navegadores. Well, they would release him the same day. I don't know what this is. It's negotiations broke down halfway through. Either way, the point is he signed with the Navegadores on July 16th and made his debut on August 5th. This is his second appearance. Francis Norman so far has 1 inning and 1 strikeout to his name. He's a classic fastball slider guy. But this ought to be funny to watch because he's a submariner. And he's about to
Okay.
face Ernesto Guerrero, who's 2 for 2 with a ribby. Norman is our anti-righty specialist.
Nice. Let's see what we can do.
Check out that grip. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
He almost fell off the mound there.
With a man on second and nobody out, he throws that slider in there for a strike, 0-1. Like, you've seen Kareem Anbar pitch. You know he pitches sidearm.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Well, he's definitely going to have to pitch tonight so you can see it. 0-1 count. He hits a roller right back to Norman. Norman, plenty of time to get it over there. Ooh, he is red-haired. Very red-haired.
Huh.
Out number 1. Man still on second for Morgan Staff, who is 1 for 2 with a run batted in. I love this. Submariner guys are some of my favorites. Chops that one to Eto'o Shirley at second. He throws over to first, and that's out number 2. Feaster's got it. Scored that a 4-3, and here comes Odiseo Altamirano, who is 0 for 2. One of the few guys to have not improved his batting average today. Let's see if he can do it against the guy who's known for beating righties to the punch with 2 outs and a man on third.
Altamirano is like a high view, like roughly.
Could be.
Kinda?
That would be my guess, yeah. It
Makes me think of it as just lashed to the mast of the ship, watching those sirens.
I was actually going to say, if by any chance that Mirano is in some way reduced or, metathesized when you change the order of the consonants or vowels in something.
Okay.
If in any way that was originally mar, then it would be Odysseus on the high C.
Oh, that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Both very good.
Although Altamira is a pretty common name of places. So I do assume it means like a high view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Slider is in there, 0-1. Sends that one. Valdez ranges to his right, makes the throw, and they get out of it. Francis Norman pitches his way around the man on second. The Mulos get the hit, and that's it. And it's back to the Navegadores to see what they can do. Jean-Noel Pino, he's the second French player in Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña history, and Navegadores history, for that matter, as he signed in 1903, by which point Jacques Centur had been playing for a year. He would... Oh, boy. Pino used to play for the Soles, if I remember correctly, but that's not where we got him. I think he got dropped by the Chupacabras earlier this year.
Interesting. Are they still doing very well?
Yes, they are. Still in the wild card. The Chupacabras? Okay. Oh, yeah. They're very much in it. Say Bourgeois and... Who are we going to bring in? Not Roima. He's due for the worst overcorrection of all time. Let's see. I think Catol's probably a good idea this early in the game. Because if he messes up, which he sometimes does, then they'll still have innings.
Okay.
Here in the bottom of the fourth, Gregorio Salazar will face Wally Balk. Salazar, 3 innings, 43 pitches, 2 hits, and a run, a strikeout. Wally Balk is 0 for 1. As is most of the Naguabo lineup. Fastball hits the dirt, 1-0. Ooh, here we go. Something's about to happen. Wally Balk with a big arc hit into right center field. That'll be a single to lead off the inning. Wally Balk recently had a 5-hit game, and the 5th hit was a walk-off home run.
Wow.
That's got to feel great. He was a triple short of the cycle.
That's amazing.
The font of wisdom comes up. He drew a walk last time he came up. He has no outs this time. Let's see if they can take advantage of Salazar's iffy control as that fastball misses away. 1-0. Shirley, makes contact at the very end there and sends it to the ground. 1-1. That likely would have been ball 2 had he let it go by. Does he check his swing in time? He does. It's 2-1. So I guess we have to be nice to the umpire after all.
All right, fair enough.
Hang on. I got to check out this guy. Tony Crampton, is he doing? He's doing a lot better this year. Wow. Tony Crampton, also known as Corky, was a big-time defensive prospect for the Insolentes last year, and he eventually got... This year, he started in the starting lineup, and they hated his hitting so much they sent him down.
Ooh, ouch.
But he's back up, and he's doing very well, hitting .330, average .272. For a guy whose main role is supposed to be his defense, that's incredible.
You know, I didn't like the nickname, but then I thought about it, Corky Crampton, and now I do like it.
Corky Crampton is a great name. Extremely baseball name.
Yeah.
2-1 count on Shirley with a man on and no outs, and that is going to go foul, so I will reserve judgment for now. Two count. Shirley hits that one. It's a line drive to second base. LaRue has it, and he holds on this time. 1 out. Man on for Rob Feaster, who's 1 for 1 with a ribby. He's responsible for the only run the Navegadores have scored so far. Double to left field in the second, and here that fastball misses low. 1-0. Feaster lances that one down the left field line, but foul. So it'll be 1-1 after that. And we've got ourselves a buffet of an at-bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 runner, and 1 out. Fastball misses low, 2-1. He checks a swing on something that he should have known not to swing at.
Yeah.
But it's a sinker, and it misses. 3-1 now. Swings on that one and sends it foul, and I have a feeling, yeah, that potentially would have been ball 4. All right, so this will be a payoff pitch. And he got the walk anyway, so who cares?
All right.
2 on with 1 out for Graham Underwood. Got to check real quick on my guy. Ooh, the Hechiceros have tied it. They are also doing very well. Graham Underwood, 0 for 1 on the day. Let's see, with 2 on and 1 out, if he can take advantage of something. If he can get one into the outfield. And that's, by the way, just to point this out, the biggest thing in the Mulos' favor is this defense.
Uh-huh.
Look at this. Everybody, except for their first baseman, and who cares, everybody else is some shade of green or blue.
Oh, man. Pretty good.
Granted, Ham's actually supposed to be a very good center fielder, but something in his confidence is just really messing him up this year.
I thought he was getting better.
Corky tripled, by the way.
Oh, nice.
0-1 count. He lays off the fastball. Very nice. All right, we get a good take there. 1-1. I know you're gonna say, I know you, Luisa. You're gonna say I'm damning with faint praise here, but there are a lot of Navegadores that would swing at that pitch,
Yes. No,
including Ham himself.
Very true.
Takes another one. A changeup inside. 2-1.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's more like it. He misses a fastball. So that one was actually in the zone. Just kind of jammed on him. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Still, he tried. It's a 2-2 count now. And that is popped up foul. Is that? No, it won't make it to the audience before they get there. So it'll be, what's his name? Morales to grab it. I'm really beginning to hate this Felipe Morales guy. How dare you? Where are you from? Ah, yeah, okay. A Morales from San Juan. Just the worst. I've met such people.
I want to root for him now that you're against him.
Yeah, here comes Spike Stonehand, who's 0 for 1. By the way, he recently got his mustache back. Maybe he just stole Vidal's. Just like gently shaved it off one night and then just stuck it back on his face.
That sounds like a classic baseball prank,
It
frankly.
sure does. Yeah, I actually I don't know how celebrated you would be by your teammates for wearing your teammate's mustache just glued onto your own face, but
I
also
think probably a lot, honestly. People
yeah,
would
who
love
knows?
it.
I do know there are guys who have shaved mid game if they feel like they're not doing so hot.
That's
That's
funny.
been a thing. Low with a fastball. Want to know?
Like maybe the mustache is the problem.
Oh boy, what happened there? Oh, it was almost a wall pitch, but staff blocked it, so nobody could move. So it's a 1-1 count. Is that going to be a strike? Yeah. All right, Spike. Let's see if you can do anything about this. Takes the fastball low, 2-2. Boy, this is tense. Nope. That goes to the third baseman. He'll make the throw. Morales again, in plenty of time to choke the inning out. And it is another half frame over. We are through 4. The Navegadores remain behind 7-1. And we're once again going to let everybody know how poorly this is going.
Yeah. Really don't think they're gonna win this one, to be honest. To be a
Yeah.
downer about it.
Nope. I don't think, as my father would say, there's a difference between being a downer and being a realist at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
But hey, we got to see a Welshman Submariner pitch really well.
That's true. 8-8. That's a surprising score
Ooh,
happening
what do
around
we
the
got
league.
here? Ooh, and those are
It's
don't
a
think
lot of hits.
the Menestrales getting 8 runs is surprising. The Tumbabrazos I would believe,
Okay.
but the Menestrales not so much. That's wild. If you wanted to see a Welsh Submariner pitch his way around the man on second with no outs, Francis Norman got you. Unfortunately, the Navegadores lineup did not have him. There you go.
Isabella's really romping all over the other team there. I didn't catch who they were, but
Oh
7 to
man,
0.
yeah, yeah. The Frios, they're not good this year.
Hmm.
Wait, that's wild. Are they? Oh, they have Medellin starting games again.
Oh,
Medellin is the first of 2 relievers they've had train into adding a pitch to their arsenal so that they can
uh,
start games.
oh, that sounds very strategic.
Yep. What's very annoying is that they continue to be successful at one of the hardest things to do.
Darn.
Like we've tried that with multiple pitchers that we've had.
Hmm.
And it just has not been remotely successful. We've been able to get some training done. Ted, for example, really we thought this was going to be the year of Ted because he had improved his pitch movement, which one of his big problems was, uh, uh, getting his pitches in the zone and avoiding home runs was the other big issue that we really wanted to work on here.
Hmm.
And he had done very well. A bunch of the other pitchers had really done quite well, and this is still where we are.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. All right, here we go. Francis Norman will be allowed to start the inning as he needed only 5 pitches to get through it. He will face Felipe Morales,
Uh-oh, this poor guy.
followed by
He's got a
Daryl
target on his
Connor
back.
and Spike Shannon. Spike Shannon is going to hit lefties, but theoretically he'll be the third out. Felipe Morales is 2 for 2 with 2 ribbies. Oh no. That went too slow. I have a feeling. Oh, okay. He just missed. That's all. Low with the fastball, 1-0. The thing is, you don't want to give Norman too many outs because he only has the fastball and the slider. So,
Yeah.
as he misses away with that. So he's a little bit afraid of this man, I see. 2-0. There we go. Hits that one foul for strike one. 2-1. Norman did so well. We definitely want to give him a chance here. Aha! Pops it up over the infield. Valdez taking charge there like the... Oh! Sure, Lou calls him off and says, I got this. I'm older than you. Actually, I think they're the same age. No! Sure, Lou is older by a year, at least currently.
Uh-huh.
Next, he'll face Darryl Connor, who's over 2 on the day. Francis Norman still not at 10 pitches after giving up those 2 balls. Bases empty and 1 out for him. Strike 1 on the fastball. I've seen somebody pitch Submarine in real life. It's gorgeous. I wish it were a more common way to pitch.
Yeah.
That fastball misses low. This might be the first year we've ever had 2 Puerto Rican hitters hit over 20 home runs.
Amazing.
Gerardo Sanchez and Julio Rubio have done it, and Gerardo Sanchez can hit in general. So, 1-1. He basically single-handedly, he basically is the Lajas offense this year, as Darryl Connor rolls it to his opposite number, and Valdez wastes no time getting rid of that ball and sending it over to first. And here comes Spike Shannon, who is 0 for 1, and this is going to be the interesting one. 2 outs, bases empty. Let's see if Norman can work around him. Shannon struck out back in the 3rd. Because you see, do you see why, or maybe it makes intuitive sense to you, why the way that he's pitching is so much harder against the lefty?
I mean, if I was in the position of trying to bat, I'm sure I would see why, but
it's
here.
So look at how he has to pitch this next one. That's a fastball, by the way, misses inside, ball 1. But check this out, the angle that his arm has to go at. Like, he basically has to aim it directly at the middle of the strike zone.
Yeah, okay. That does seem like it'd be very confusing.
Mm-hmm. And so the ball, especially something like a slider, is going to turn in on the batter, which is exactly what the batter wants it to do.
Mm-hmm.
No, if he had something like a sinker instead of a fastball, or if maybe he had like a screwball, that could get interesting. But yeah. I don't even want to know what throwing a screwball submarine style does to your wrist.
Yeah.
It feels like the thing that would break your arm just in half, like a tree trunk.
Yeah, he'd be twisting it all around.
And that is exactly what he just threw, and it missed inside, 2-1. Well, a slider, not a screwball, but still. Okay, let's see here. Shannon fouls that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes for him. Let's see if he'll finish him off here. That 8-8 game is in extra innings now, by the way.
Nice.
Shannon cracks that one, but it's right to Wally Balk. A hard hit. And Norman has pitched 2 innings in his 2nd appearance, as that broken bat roller is an easy cross hallway putout. Aguas Buenas goes down in order, but remains in the lead 7-1. As Bourgeois and Catol can go down for a bit. Gregorio Salazar is through 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, no earned runs, 66 pitches. And he will now face Benji Valdez, who is over 2 on the day. Here goes nothing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, wait, who's that? Oh, it's Naranjo. It's not one of the pitchers I know from Molca. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, rain delay.
Yeah, of course.
Watch them call the game.
I like the play-by-play. Still raining, still raining, still raining.
50 minutes of rain delay there. What, again?
Was it? Is it?
They said rain is beginning to fall again. So, ball 1, 1-0, as that fastball misses away. So does that fastball, 2-0 now. See, come on, Benji. This team needs you, as he throws that one over Fresquez's head. That should be down for extra bases with his wheels, as he'll motor into second. And yeah, I don't think any runner would have been arrogant enough to try for third on that one. Valdez on that hit into the corner makes it to second standing up. And here comes Frank de Castillo, who's hitting just 250 in August. He's over 2 on the day. Let's see if maybe he can get a run batted in here, put some pressure on Salazar. As Salazar just threw his 69th pitch of the night.
Nice.
Umpires are calling another rain delay. 25 minutes this time. So we've had 75 minutes total of rain delays.
Jeez.
Let's see if there are any. That game is still going. It's in the 15th inning now. The 8-8 game.
There was some named Bonhomme.
Pierre Bonhomme, yeah. Goodman Peter. He plays for the Lobos.
I'm only thinking of in Quebec. The Bonhomme is a snowman who's like the mascot of the city in winter.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's very cute.
It is very cute.
Yeah. Here goes nothing. Frank de Castillo, he's hitting .358 with runners in scoring position. Misses outside with a sinker. Salazar, 1-0. De Castillo, that's going to be an out to Darryl Connor at short, as he's not going to beat that throw, not remotely. So there will be a man on third with 1 out. Let's see if Vidal Santiago can manage some sort of sac fly, or failing that, a base hit would be great here. He's 1 for 2 on the day.
Mm-hmm.
As that fastball misses low, 1-0. Santiago sends that one careening foul into the grass. Up from the audience, 1-1. That fastball misses low, 2-1. That is swung on and it's through the right side gap. Benji Valdez will score easily. And if you can believe it, the Mulos' lead has been cut 7-2. Santiago gets in another run. It's his 67th run batted in. Aguas Buenas has the lead by 5 now, and if you were excited by that, well, let's turn that attitude down, because here comes Declan Milne, who's 0 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, this is going to calm everybody down.
Yep, heavy weather looks to be behind us, which is ironic, because this is when they need to make it rain.
Ah!
That fastball misses high, 1-0. As does that fastball. We're going to, just as double play insurance, we're going to put Pino and, Bourgeois and Catol back in the pen. Mm-hmm. Salazar attempts a pickoff to first, but even Santiago can get back in time there to account. Milne fouls that one off at the plate. Sure, whatever, extend the at-bat. Patty Grout just singled. Love that man. And that is swung on, and it's another one of those line drives. Oh, my God. So many.
Yeah.
This might be a 4-2 game if both teams could do that equally, like they did during the Comerio game.
Yeah.
That game was crazy.
You know, at the beginning of the game, I was really thinking, I mean, obviously, the Naves had the edge, but they were so far ahead defensively of so many of the Mulos, but I only see the Mulos making amazing defensive plays.
I think you might... Okay, hang on. I think you might be under a misconception here.
Okay.
They are matched by position, but the fun part here is that the defense is actually the part they don't take into account, I think, when they do those matchups. At least, I don't think they count it enough. Because I can't tell you how many times we'll look at a matchup between two other teams, right? Mm-hmm. And one catcher, the difference between the catchers will be, 46-51 or something.
Yeah.
The 51 catcher will get the edge. They will be the 46 catcher will be a little bit worse as a hitter, but a massively better defender. And that just even now, even though they do take into account defense more than they ever have in the overall ratings, even though it's more important than it's ever been, they still don't pay enough attention to it, I don't think.
Well, then what's that supposed to tell us?
just basically, here's like the conjunction of all the ratings that this player has, which is mostly hitting, but then also defense is in there. It's just not a large enough factor. It's just
Ugh.
basically which of these do we consider a better overall first baseman, second baseman, whatever.
But I saw some in the yellow, so down to like 40
Oh
or
no,
whatever.
yeah, the Mulos should not be winning this game. Let's just be clear
Yeah,
about that. That should not be happening.
because they're obviously scoring more runs, but also they seem to be making better defensive plays as well tonight.
And I will say again, their defense is part of why they got so much better. Like this infield, this is a good infield. When your weakest guy is your first baseman, you're gonna see a lot of those plays. And Larue is fine. He actually, as far as errors goes, he's kind of iffy. I don't like an error-prone second baseman, but he makes plays. Esquilo Chavez is an okay center field, whatever. The point is, they are much better at defense than they used to be, which was very much their weak spot. As Philly points out, that Vidal Santiago, or sorry, that Declan Milne line drive there, he swung on it. It was super low, it was under the zone, and he still managed to get under it.
Huh, okay.
Unbelievable. Here comes Wally Balk, who's 1 for 2. Let's see if he can at least do something. He had a single last time, and oh boy, he's really excited because he swings right through that fastball on 1. That would have been a great pitch to actually hit, bro. That ball misses. It's a sinker, 1-1. And he rolls that one. It's a bouncer to Daryl Connor, and he does not have the legs to make that happen. So that will end the 5th. The Navegadores showing a little bit of fight here in the 5th inning, but they are still 5 runs behind. That's we're through the halfway point now. They really need to start scoring those runs.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna let everybody know what's going on here. As Francis Norman, 2 innings. He's facing another righty. I'm tempted to at least let him go again until he gets a base runner on and then replace him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially because you don't want to tire out too many other guys
Mm-hmm.
in a game where they probably will not win no matter what.
Exactly. Here's a question. Last time we had cook chat and people seem to enjoy that, so I'm trying to think what's something interesting that I made this week.
Hmm.
I didn't really. I was kind of in a hurry all week, so it
Yep.
was mostly, combining a couple things from the freezer or the fridge or what have you. Not really a whole lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
Very
I've
unfortunate.
been enjoying. Here's something very basic. I've been enjoying avocado toast again lately. A
Well,
nice
and you're not even a
multigrain
millennial.
bread. I know, right? A nice multigrain bread, fresh avocado with lime and salt just mashed right on top, and then some Alauganma spicy chili crisp. Delicious. Feels nutritious. I don't know if it is, but it feels like good vegetable content for the winter, which is hard to get. And incidentally vegan, so it's a really nice meal.
Yes, incidentally vegan. That sounds like a podcast.
I think those are the only vegan meals I eat, just incidentally vegan. Somehow I've not put any animal products in something by accident.
Yes, that is unfortunately also true for me. Real, do you know how the word avocado happens in English? Like how we got there?
No, I don't. I thought it was a word maybe taken from native peoples of the Mexican peninsula. Wait, do we call that a peninsula?
No.
That area. That area of the world.
Mexico. We can just say
Yes.
Mexico, I think. Anyway,
Okay,
yes,
yes.
you are correct. It is from Nahuatl. And oh boy, I got into this discussion, and I want to say the original word is something like aguacatl. In Spanish, it became aguacate, which is what we still call it.
Mhm.
But it was influenced by avocado, meaning so that was closer to the Nahuatl pronunciation, and avocado at the time would have meant lawyer.
Aha.
and that's what influenced it. But the fun bit is that the Nahuatl word for the avocado, for the fruit, has a secondary meaning of testicle.
It's very handy.
So there's a
Uh,
metaphor there of like basically advocate for manhood, I guess, because gender essentialism.
have
Yeah,
there been any weird fad diets that say you can increase your testosterone by eating all avocado diet?
that's a good question. If there were, it was around this time. I'll say that.
I know lately it seems avocado oil, which I'm sure is fine. I've never had that on its own myself, but it has become a miracle cure, it seems. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you don't eat too much fat, that's bad for you. But if you want to exchange that fat, whatever you're talking about, butter, to avocado oil, suddenly it's very good for you and have all the fat you want. Doesn't quite work that way.
Philly, who mentioned that Chili Crisp was a nice ad, said they're gonna
Oh,
start
yes.
one. So there you go. It'll
There we go.
happen. You spoke it into the universe.
Yes, it'll be a very expensive diet, but that convinces people it works better if you tell them they
Correct.
have to buy something expensive.
Every feature of life, even the most anti-cap person, bends towards money. This happens in diets. It happens in sports. It happens in everything. Yeah, avocado butter. I bet. I will say this: avocado toast is basically a Puerto Rican thing. Pan con aguacate is a thing,
Oh, okay.
but you
That's
would
nice.
typically it would back in the day you would go pick the avocado yourself, and it wouldn't necessarily be off of like you wouldn't be getting it at a grocery store. There would just be an avocado tree, palm, whatever that you would just
Now,
grab it off of.
now that's anti-capitalism right there. What would you have with it? Can you describe it? Are we talking about some citrus and salt or something else? Some more
Maybe
seasonings?
salt, but we're talking like Great Depression Puerto Rican eating here.
Okay, fair
Here's
enough.
a source of fat, carbs. This is something you can eat that if you're working out in the sugarcane fields or whatever all day, this is a relatively easy meal to get because white people had not yet discovered avocados, or at least non-Spanish speaking white people had not yet discovered avocados. So they were still
That's
very much like
very
a
true.
food for the poor.
Okay, yes, very true. I know in early United States American cookbooks from the earlier part of the 20th century, they would call them avocado pears to try to get you used to the idea that it was going to be a fruit or a vegetable, and
I
then like gradually move you over.
I've heard Lee Mack, the British comedian, talk about an article where a man was uh, banned from owning more than 10 avocados or 5 avocado pears, as he added.
Pretty good joke.
All right, here we go. Esquilo Chavez, 1 for 2 on the day against Francis Norman, who has gone 2 innings on 17 pitches. As long as he's facing righties, we're going to let him go. That's his whole job. Strike one on the slider, 0-1. See, here's the thing, right? Oh, he fouled it off the tip of the bat there on a check swing, and it's 0-2 on the fastball. Norman's probably pretty glad about that one as he throws his 20th pitch in there. Let's see if he can get Chavez out. Nope. Fouled into the ground. Can he get this out as the slider? Does not work. See, here's the thing. Guys like Francis Norman. Ooh, got him! Chases a
Nice.
slider out of the zone, and that is why guys like Francis Norman are my favorite players on every baseball team. I don't
Why is that?
I don't give a damn about your closer. I don't give a damn about your star shortstop. I don't give a damn about your ace. I don't give a damn about your guy who hits dingers. Show me your 5th inning guy. Show me your middle reliever. Show me the guy who comes in like 80 games a year, pitches a thankless inning that just is there because someone needs to pitch it.
Yeah,
That's my
he's
guy right there.
the hero we need.
As the lineup turns over, Thomas LaRue comes up. He is 1 for 3. Norman is going to stay, but I think this might be his last batter. As that is lined up to center field. No, it won't be. Ham
Nice.
Underwood gets on his horse, and he nails the catch there.
Nice. Now we're doing it.
Look at that. You were saying?
Oh, I did notice that the score of that 8-8 game.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a heck of a game.
Yeah. I wonder if they had a rain delay, because we've gone a bit and they're still in the 15th inning. I guess
Yeah.
they're in the bottom of the 15th inning. So there's that. Ooh, the Cítricos are winning 2-0. How much longer can they keep that up? They can't score runs. That's like their whole problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fresquez comes up next. He is a lefty. Ooh, do we switch him out here? He's 3 for 3 on the day. Against righties, he's hitting 339, and I only have righties in the bullpen. We're going to go to Jack Catoll for this one. Now pitching for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 5, Big Jack Catoll. 13 innings and 2/3, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, ERA of 0.66. 1 earned run and 9 hits allowed in that time. 2 wins, 2 losses, 4 shutdowns to 2 meltdowns. He has a fastball, slider, and forkball, but the reason we're bringing him in here is because he has a splitter, and that is a great pitch to control somebody like Viriato Fresquez, who has extreme splits.
Mm-hmm.
Because a split finger fastball is more about dropping off the table, it just goes down. So it doesn't break in or out as extremely as other pitches do. 0-1 count. Catoll has held opposing batters to a 188. And I do believe if Frank de Castillo holds on to the damn ball, which he does,
Nice.
that's going to end the inning. Beautifully done by Norman. And Catoll there to end the top of the 6th. And the Navegadores now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 outs to try to rescue this game. Salazar on 82 pitches as he faces Sherdlu and starting to get tired. Let's see if the lefties can do something against him. Sherdlu watches the fastball miss low, 1-0. He is 0 for 1 with a walk on the day. As that changeup misses, 2-0. We're also seeing a very limited selection of games because of the rain delays, so we're currently in the middle part of the game, middle part of the afternoon, where some games are wrapping up because they took too long, a rain delay, or they went until the 16th inning.
Crazy.
And then other games might be starting soon, but I don't know if we're going to be able to see them on this.
Mm-hmm.
3-0 count for Sherdlu. That was a strike on the fastball there. Should have swung. 3-1 count now. And he swings on that one and pops it up, way up over the infield. Very hollow sound to that, and it'll be O'Connor catching it for out number 1. And, of course, just when we were starting to get to him, they pull him.
Of course.
Now pitching for the Mulos Aguas Buenas, number 26, Faustino Cruz. He has pitched 38 innings, 23 games, of which he has started none. So I want you to remember that because he has won 6 games and lost 5. He's allowed 6 earned runs. That's an ERA of 1.42, 17 strikeouts to 11 walks. And he has a slider and a sinker.
So he's a reliever, but not a particularly successful reliever?
Oh no, he's been quite a successful reliever. What I'm saying is he's often been decisive. He's either lost the game or won it. Okay, in half of the games that he's appeared, but he's actually quite good. I actually don't understand why he's rated 17 strikeouts versus 11 walks, a hit by pitch. I guess no home runs. You would expect that his fielding independent pitching would be a little bit higher since he does pitch in front of such a great defense. But hey.
All right.
Sure. He's a little bit worse against lefties, and we're going to try to take advantage of that here. Rob Feaster, last time he came out, walked in the 4th, and he's also got a base hit on the line. Let's see if he can get a conga started against Cruz. In terms of results, as Feaster rolls down directly to Fresquez on the first pitch. This is like me playing Super Mega Baseball 4.
How so?
New pitcher comes in and I can't help but swing at the first pitch.
Yeah.
Let's see. Given who's coming up, we are going to put Bourgeois in. And Underwood is 0 for 2 on the day. Let's see if he can at least not get out on the first pitch. Well, he didn't get out on it, but he did swing at it. Sinker low and inside, and it'll be strike one. Carolina just took the lead in the 16th inning, 9-8. Underwood checks his swing. It's 1-1 now. That is swung on and popped up over the infield. Well, Morales makes the squeeze, and the Navegadores go down with not much fight against Faustino Cruz. So we are through 6. The Mulos remain ahead 7-2. It is now time for another word from our sponsors. Louisa, I'll still be here, but the booth is yours.
Thank you. Let's see who we haven't heard from in a while. Here's one of my favorites. I love thinking about
Oh, I'm excited.
Business. This is for Salvador Alcina's Golden Niceties. This is a military equipment establishment with a full assortment of sabers, swords, badges for officers of the Army and Navy, medals and decorations, insignia for revenue and telegraph officers, coats of arms, kepis, cockades, and Teresian caps, regulation headgear for the Merchant Marine, the Capitoline Guard, and other departments and offices of the insular government. Wool patches depicting coats of arms for flags. Make your own flags. Assortment of sheet music. And it is located in Plaza General Rojas in, of course, Puerto Rico.
And not just any part of Puerto Rico, but, San Juan, where Felipe Morales is from.
All roads lead to San Juan. Do people say that? I
No.
feel like they might. Okay.
I don't even know. I don't think you can count how many hills San Juan is built on. It just... Some of them are just... It's uncountable at this point, really.
Innumerable hills. Now, What type of hills are these? Are these rolling hills, or are these the Pepino hills? Are these the steeper, flat top ones? I know the island has many types of hills.
I actually say that, but San Juan, proper San Juan, we're talking here what is now usually called Old San Juan, and then kind of the area around it, is actually mostly drained swampland.
That makes sense, because it is a port.
Yeah.
You want a big port city, yeah. Fair enough. So no 7 Hills. Is it 7 Hills of Rome, or was it 9?
It is. It is 7 Hills. Well, okay. Now we're in it. Now we're in it.
Go on.
Because, so there is a real festival in Roman times called the Septimontium, the 7 Hills, right? But as it turns out, it is possible that basically that celebrates a collection of 7 hills, but it is not the 7 hills, and I'll mention why.
Okay.
The Romans themselves did not always seem to have an authoritative list of which hills were the 7.
That makes sense, because, as I've said, people love the number 7. We all know this. A nice prime number, can't divide it. So it seems like it's unlikely that there would be exactly 7 clear hills to Rome.
And there is a canonical list, and I'm going to see if I can remember all of them right now. Capitoline, Palatine, Aventine, Esquiline, Caelian, Viminal. I am forgetting a really obvious one. Palatine, Capitoline, Aventine, Caelian, Viminal, Esquiline. Esquiline, by the way, is where Esquito Chavez's name is from.
Oh, nice.
I can't believe I'm forgetting this.
Terpsichore, Calliope.
Not helping. But what I will say is that the other hill that I'm remembering here,
Mhm.
Corino. I knew it was Corina something.
Yes, you did it.
Well, no. I had to look it up.
You did it.
Anyway,
Take,
the
take it.
real point
Yes.
is that I was going to say you could substitute some of those for the Janiculum, which is not one of the seven hills, but was one of the heaviest populated ones.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know exactly where it is in relation to everything else. I know you can walk from the Janiculum to Vatican City because Father Reginald Foster apparently did that every day.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's not very far. I mean, Vatican City's in the middle of Rome, and most of these places, most of these hills have to be kind of in the middle of the city. They didn't really have, with no mass transportation or anything
Yeah.
faster than a wagon.
Mhm.
There's only so far you can really expand the city proper. So the Seven Hills are pretty close knit.
That's true. You need your well fortified settlement of some kind to be on top of the hill.
That's
Yeah.
right. All right, here in the top of the seventh, Ernesto Guerrero, the designated hitter, he's 2 for 3 with a ribby, faces off against Jack Cattol, who got his first out on 2 pitches. Let's see how long he can succeed. What I will say is that I'm very glad that we're getting to see success from the bullpen.
Yes, that
Because,
is
like I
nice.
said, these are my guys.
Yep.
Split or misses, low and inside. Want to know. Split or misses high and inside, 2-0, because Jack Cattol apparently decided to do a bit with what I just said. But he gets that to Wally Balk, and I do want to say that's a ground out. And sure enough, it is. Balk throwing across the hallway on the fastball. That's out number one. He will now face Morgan Staff, who is 1 for 3 with a ribby. As Staff swings right through a splitter. 0-1. That's the beauty of it. That is an out-getting pitch as he hits that one to Rob Feaster, who cannot quite catch the slider as it goes foul. 0-2. Would have been nice if he had, but you know. And that is hit. Does that get past? Are you kidding me? That's the first base hit they've allowed in forever.
Oh man.
Morgan Staff's second hit of the game, 11th of the game for the Mulos. He holds on at first, and here comes Odiseo Altamirano, who is 0 for 3 on the day. By the way, you know what's even better than his name is Odiseo Altamirano?
What's that?
Guess which team he used to play for.
I'm afraid I'm going to guess wrong. Is it a nautical team?
It is a nautical team, and it is not the Navegadores. I'll tell you that.
Huh.
He,
Corseros?
what's that?
Corseros?
Are you thinking of the Corsos?
Yes, I am. Sorry. Yes, I am.
They are not. I would not define them as a nautical team because
Okay,
they're
fair.
more identified with the coffee plantations. No, he's a former marinero. He's a former sailor.
Aha! Yes, that does make
That's
sense.
pretty incredible. I didn't even think of that. And if I remember correctly, he's not the only Altamirano playing. And hang on, now I have to look this up because if this is true, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Okay. Are they related? Does he have a son?
I don't know if he has a son. And by the way, he's from Fajardo, so he's not from far away.
And Telemachus. He's a great archer.
Well, what there is wait, who the hell is this? Oh boy, I'm gonna have to go into the almanac to find this guy. What am I looking for? There was a guy from
Yes.
1871 to 1881, a left fielder. He played his entire career for the Murciélagos, whose name was Ovidio Altamirano.
Aha! There's someone with a high vision.
So let's see. So he would have been 50. Okay, so he was born in 1842. Odiseo Altamirano was born in 1873, so he'd be 19 when his son was born. That's not Maybe that's why his number was 19. He was commemorating the birth of his son.
Pretty good.
He would have been in his third year of baseball, and he actually had a great year that year and the year before. And then after that, things got kind of average. But for a while there, he was pretty awesome.
Yeah, losing sleep from that new baby.
3 5-hit games,
Wow.
including one in which he was a triple short of the cycle. One of his 5-hit games was, in fact, against the Mulos. And the Navegadores once ended his hitting streak.
Oh man, rough.
Yeah, let's see if the Sun wants to get revenge. All right, here goes nothing. 1 out, man on first. Ascatol attempts a pickoff, but Morgan's staff back in plenty of time. That fastball misses low, 1-0. That is swung on, and sure enough, he does take that revenge. Odiseo Altamirano bangs that one through, and Underwood yet again with a very late throw into third to put runners on second and third with only 1 out. Oh boy.
Yep.
Who are we going to bring in?
Is it worth it?
It is not. That I can answer that very quickly. I don't think it is. I think anybody we bring in is going to be about the same. The one thing
You're tempted. You're tempted
I
for
am.
some reason.
Well, okay, I can't
Yes.
explain it.
Yes.
Bourgeois is a ground ball pitcher, and with 2 guys on, what we need more than anything is easy outs. Like outs that will roll to a defender so they can throw home or they can throw to a relevant base.
Mm-hmm.
We also only have 2 more innings to get through effectively because we're not going to win this. So
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
very tempted because we still have like 4 pitchers. So more
How
than that.
much does a pitcher have to pitch to get tired? Will all the pitchers who play today become tired from it?
I don't think even Ted Balloon got tired. He didn't throw enough.
Okay.
So I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
All right, now pitching for the Navegadores. Number, I can't even see his number. This is interesting. Number 8, Jan Bourgeois, currently holding down the Haitian spot in the nationalities that the Navegadores have. He has pitched 10 and a third innings, 9 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 walks, 7 strikeouts, an ERA of 1.74. He is not well liked by the fielding independent pitching metric at all. I'll say that. So this ought to be interesting. Men on second and third and 1 out. Let's see if he can. Let's see if he can get an out against Felipe Morales.
Dun, dun, dun.
So that sinker misses away. 1-0. That is a strike. It's in there. 1-1. Bourgeois. That is popped up. Can they get to it? Can he get? And he gets Felipe Morales out. It is a vital out in this game. So with 2 on and 2 outs, here comes Darryl O'Connor, who's over 3 on the day. And O'Connor immediately detonates on that one and fouls it off. 0-1, a sinker down under the zone. And he fouls that one off as well. Let's see if Bourgeois can get out of this one. He's a fastball, sinker, and cutter guy, by the way. So 3 fastballs, really. Darryl O'Connor hits that one to Valdez. Valdez got it. He holds on, spins, makes the throw, and that is out. Number 3, Jan Bourgeois extinguishes the 2-man threat. Well done by him. Aguas Buenas strands 2 runners. And what's up?
No, I'm agreeing. It's good. It's not great, but it's good.
No, it's not great. Nothing has been great this game. This is bad. So here, in the bottom of the 7th, Spike Stonehand, who is over 2 on the day, will lead it off against Faustino Cruz, who pitched 2 outs on 4 pitches. Nothing else to be said. Let's see if the Mulos can, the Naves can dig their way out of this one. Not hitting like that, you won't. 5 pitches for 3 outs against Faustino Cruz as he pops up the first sinker he sees, gets completely under it, and is out. So the lineup turns over, and here comes Benji Valdez, who's 1 for 3 on the day. As Cruz launches in the slider, it catches enough for a strike on 1. Benji already being... You have got to be kidding me. Oh, okay, that's foul. This might be the most successful at bat they've had yet.
That's sad.
In that it made it to 2 strikes.
Yes.
I'm guessing Cruz is about to get strike 3. Nope,
Ooh.
that is also fouled off. Nicely done and pretty disrespectful swing on that one to put it out of range. 0-2 still. As Cruz misses. That's a great take by Benji. That was on the edge there. And he basically dared it to be a ball and was correct. 1-2. Valdez fouls that one off as well. Boy, this is an AB. He's 5 pitches in. He's had to throw as many pitches against Benji as he has against every other Navegador. That's a base hit! With 1 out, Benji Valdez will reach on a hit up the middle that makes it all the way to Esquilo Chavez out there at center. The Navegadores have their 6th hit of the ball game. Man on first and 1 out for Frank Del Castillo. He's overthrown the day. Let's see if Frank finally got his hitting shoes on, as there's a pickoff attempt, but Valdez is back in plenty of time. Another pickoff attempt, but Valdez is back in plenty of time. Another pickoff attempt, but Valdez is back in plenty of time. Another pickoff attempt, but Valdez is back in plenty of time. Oh, hey, look, a throw to the plate. And there goes Valdez, and he is going to steal that base easily. Valdez steals his 72nd stolen base. I want to point out, by the way, 72 stolen bases. I know I'm sour grapesing at here, but 72 stolen bases leads the Mulos. It is 3rd on his team.
Man.
1-0 count with a man on second and 1 out. Let's see if Frank cares to make this interesting. That is a line drive right to Dare O'Connor. Oh, my God. And here comes... No, not very interesting at all. Here comes Vidal Santiago, who's 2 for 3 on the day with a ribby. Outfield shifting left for him. Sinker misses low, 1-0. Santiago fouls that one off, 1-1. That is rolled to Felipe Morales, who throws across the hallway and extinguishes the threat. We're not even going to bother letting people know this. At this point, they should know better than to expect anything.
Yeah.
It's 7-2 for the Naves, and Jan Bourgeois, after 6 pitches, will in fact be replaced because it's time to see our favorite guy now pitching for the Navegadores de Naguabo, number 10, Kareem Anbar.
Nice.
He has pitched 22 innings, won 3 games and lost none, 11 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, 31 strikeouts, an ERA of 1.23. But what we really need to talk about, so I know I've tried to introduce you to fielding independent pitching before.
Yes.
Okay, so ERA is how many runs, earned runs, not runs on errors, how many runs you as a pitcher give up over 9 innings is what it's supposed to mean. So if you pitch all 9 innings of a game and you give up 1 earned run and that's the only game you've pitched, your ERA is 1. Okay. If you pitch 1 inning and you give up 1 run, your ERA is 9 because presumably you would give up a run every inning.
Oh, so it's kind of like figuring out weather, where they just make assumptions based on current statistics. Okay.
So fielding independent pitching is basically what would your ERA be if you were playing with, if basically the defense did its job, roughly, right? So the idea is that a very good pitcher might be playing in front of a defense that doesn't make the plays it's supposed to, and so it tires him out, and he has to throw more pitches, and that leads to runs, because you have to throw more pitches to get around the fact that your defense isn't doing squat and isn't helping you. So fielding independent pitching is based off of strikeouts, walks, hits by pitch, and home runs. So the 4 plays that do not involve the defense at all.
Okay.
And basically the idea is this is what your ERA would be if your defense was average, basically. So normally, a very good pitcher playing in front of a bad defense will have a lower fielding independent than his ERA. A
Okay.
pitcher who's playing in front of a very good defense might actually have a higher FIP than his ERA, because basically it's saying you have such a good infield behind you and outfielders that they are taking care of some things that maybe otherwise you would that would end up with men on base, and you would give up more walks, and you would hit more guys, and so on and so on. But because of your defense, they end the innings faster, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
So where I'm going with this is that to play in front of a defense like the Navegadores and to have your FIP be lower than your ERA
Yeah, not good.
is wild, because that you want it to be lower. That's a good thing. That means that, well, either it means the Navegadores have really messed up, but more importantly, it means you're striking on a ton of guys, you're not hitting guys, you're not walking guys, and you're not giving up home runs.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So as far as you're doing it, if your defense is always doing its job, you would be even better than you already are. You're already amazing. You would be a star. Kareem Anbar's ERA is 1.23. That's amazing. That is twice as good as a league average pitcher.
Nice.
His FIP is 0.27.
How? How is that possible?
He basically never walks guys. He hasn't given up a home run, and he hasn't hit a guy.
Well, I'm impressed.
And
Hasn't
then
hit a guy,
over
that's all it takes for me.
seriously, and over 22 innings pitched, that's pretty amazing. Then you add in, by the way, I checked. That is the lowest FIP of anybody who's thrown more than like 5 innings.
Dang.
Then on his injury assignment, when he was rehabbing in the level 3 league,
Yeah.
his FIP is 0. Like his ERA was 0. He didn't allow a single earned run, but his FIP agrees with that. His FIP says, yeah, he shouldn't have, because he walked one guy and struck out 15
Yeah.
in 8 innings.
That's pretty great.
Like, he faced, I'm not counting errors here because I don't have them to hand, but he faced 8 innings is 24 outs. So he had to face 24 batters, plus 4 hits, that's 28, plus 1 walk, that's 29. So he struck out more than half of the batters he faced.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible. And which is why I'm sure he is now going to just completely embarrass me.
Do you think he'll make it up to a starting pitcher to be like a main guy in the future? I know he's still young.
Very unlikely, because he's only a slider and a sinker guy. If he had a third pitch, that could happen. And we are going to try to get him that third pitch, because he's about as good as it gets at his current role.
Okay.
And if he has a third pitch, we might still keep him as a closer, because Varela has just started kind of stinking it up. So, sinker is in there, 0-1. By the way, this is a sidearm, as opposed to a Submariner. Like, you see how it's coming directly? It's very similar, obviously, because you still have to move around a lot to make that happen, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a 1-1 count after that slider misses. Ooh, he gets the whiff on the sinker, 1-2. But yeah, this guy with a third pitch would be deadly. I mean, he already is. Shannon sends that sinker foul, 1-2. Look at how they're all clustered. Like, he's just throwing that.
Yeah.
Let's see if he'll finish him off here. Oof, fouls it off again at the very last second, 1-2 still. Anbar 5 pitches already. And he hit him. There it is.
What?
That's the second time Shannon's gotten hit. So I'm starting to think this is his thing now. He just decided this is how he's going to get on base.
That's wild. Does that dramatically raise Anbar's hitting guys percentage?
Well, his FIP did go up to 0.41, so yes.
Oh, man.
He is now, by the way, FIP is expressed as a measure of average. It's actually expressed as lower. Like, you want your FIP minus to be as low as possible. That means you are way better. The idea being that pitchers generally want anything that's not strikeouts, they want
Yeah.
that number to be low because it means
Okay.
runs given up. Hitters, the only number they want low is strikeouts. Every other
Mhm.
number, it's better if it's higher, right?
Yes.
So,
Okay.
so FIP minus, a FIP minus of 100 is league average. Lower than that is better. Higher than that is worse. His FIP minus was 9. It is now 13. So,
All right.
Man on first with no outs for Esquito Chavez. Let's see if they can trick Shannon into running. Why didn't you even try to throw?
What? The heck?
1-0 count on Esquito Chavez now. As he gets the strike on the sinker, 1-1. Misses with the next sinker, 2-1. And misses with a slider, 3-1. This is not very Anbar-like pitching, which is why it's good we've got somebody warming. They might be needed. And that's a base hit up the middle. Once again, nobody fielding it until it gets to Ham Underwood, who I want to be clear, should not have to be the person to field it. And that is a run. It scores as Chavez is able to advance to second with a single. And the Mulos, for the first time since the second inning, have scored, increasing their lead to 8-2. Yeah, and it's still .41 because that was all on. That was allowed by the hit by pitch, but the rest of that was defense. Stonehand not throwing him out at second, and then nobody fielding that play out there.
Great.
Great. LaRue is 1 for 4 on the day. He catches that sinker on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. LaRue hits that one. That's going to get through as well, because apparently we're just not trying today.
Oh, man.
Underwood throwing that and holding the runners at the corners with no outs. Here comes Viriato Fresquez, who is still working on a 4-hit game and is clearly just going to get it here. As there's a pickoff attempt, LaRue is back on that one. And this time, Stonehand does release the throw and gets LaRue out. And by the way, speaking of people who have recently reacquired their crown as like their top defensive player of the position, Stonehand recently passed Mooney McGee as the best defensive catcher in Liga Betances.
Oh, nice. That's good. He
That's
never gets
something.
the credit he deserves.
He's actually the reigning Agutissimo. He's the reigning defensive champion.
Nice.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm wrong. That was in 1903. I think Rob did win it last year, though, if I remember correctly. He did. He's won it in 1903 and 1904, so he'll make it 3 years in a row. 0-1 count. Ooh, look at that. Fresco. Valdez could throw home, but he goes for first instead. So they trade it out for a run and make it 9-2, and poor Anbar now has his ERA increased to 1.99 because a couple people didn't feel like trying out there in the infield. But the bases are empty, so here comes Ernesto Guerrero with 2 outs. He's 2 for 4 on the day with a ribby. Guerrero swings right through that sinker, 0-1. Misses inside, 1-1. That swung on and fouled down the right field line. I wonder if the problem is that it's hard for the Navegadores to tell which Mulo they're facing because the numbers on their uniforms are also in black.
I did notice that. I wonder if that was some kind of glitch.
No, that is that I forgot to check their away uniforms.
It's a very modern look, though, I have to say.
Mm-hmm. Very, very 1990s Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, there we go.
As that slider misses, it's a full count. So this will be a payoff pitch. The least important payoff pitch of all time, I would say, but here we are. Oh, look! Now he tries. Valdez catches that one on the line drive. The side is retired. 2 runs, 2 hits, no one left on. Aguas Buenas widens their lead at the expense of the best pitcher in the Naguabo bullpen. And speaking of bullpens, here comes Faustino Cruz, who has pitched 5 outs on 16 pitches, having allowed a hit over that time. We are not going to go to Declan Milne for this. We are going to let somebody else embarrass themselves. Now batting for the Navegadores and Aguas, number 17, Pablo Salmeron. Currently hitting 240, OPS of 694, 8 home runs, and 37 runs batted in. He's hit 2 of those home runs in August, but is otherwise batting under 200 because he swings on pitches like that. Sinker blown away, 0-1. You've got to be kidding me, Pablito. Sinker in the exact same location, pretty much. 0-2. Faustino Cruz misses with that sinker, makes it 1-2 now. Swings on that one and hacks it foul, still 1-2. And he does strike out, and now he has to face the further indignity of running to first base because the catcher dropped it.
Jeez.
1 out. Here comes Wally Balk, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Outfield shifting right for Balk, which is interesting because he is a righty. Sinker strike there. And he also hits most balls left. That's wild. You would think they would... Whatever. You would think they would shift him the other way.
Yeah.
Balk watches ball 1. 1-1. He swings on that pitch very late on the slider. 1-2. Hey, you know something that I just realized? The last time... So, the last game we had that crashed was a Navegadores Mulos game. They were winning that game when it crashed.
Yes.
Since then, every Navegadores game we've watched, they've lost.
Ah, so you think it was haunted?
Yes. 1-2 count. Very spooky.
That game was from a dimension that wasn't supposed to exist.
Mm-hmm. Slider misses outside. 2-2. And there he goes. He goes down on another slider. So 2 more strikeouts for Faustino Cruz. And he will now face the font of wisdom himself, Eto Enshirlu, who's over 2 on the day. 2 outs, and the bases are empty. That sinker misses low, 1-0. As does that sinker, 2-0 now. He fouls that one off. A third sinker, 2-1. And draws ball 3. Can he get a walk? Nope, he fouls that one off, but it'll be a full count on Faustino Cruz, who's at 31 pitches. And Sherlou just keeps fouling him off. Just having fun with it. Hits that one on a line drive, too. You guessed it. Felipe Morales. The Navegadores go down in order, and we remain at 9-2. Kareem Anbar will not be pitching a second inning today. We are instead going to bring in new pitcher number 28, Chet Hancock, who over the course of this year has pitched 31 2/3 innings, allowed 25 hits, 7 earned runs for an ERA of 1.99, 24 strikeouts, 215 walks, 3 wins, 4 losses, and 8 saves. He has a changeup and a cutter, and this is another guy that we would like to eventually turn into something even better than what he currently is. By the way, his FIP is 0.55.
Mm-hmm.
He will begin by facing pinch hitter number 14, Pio Corona, who has yet to get a hit in August. Hitting 190 for the year, but I'm sure he'll manage to hit a home run or something this year. Pio Corona has pinch hit exactly once and is 0 for 1. As he fouls off that cutter, Hancock got the changeup and the cutter as his 2 main calling cards. Misses low with that one, 1-1. That cutter misses low and outside, 2-1. And what's that? It's going to be called inside, 3-1. Let's see if he can get back into this game. Oh, he actually gets him to chase what would have probably been ball 4, and instead it's sent down the line to foul territory. Vidal Santiago watches it go, so we'll have a full count, and this will be yet another payoff pitch. Swung on, lifted, and that's a base hit, the 15th of the game by the Mulos. By a guy who was hitting 190 on the year.
Oh boy.
Here comes Bill Goyette. Used to be on the Mofongueros, now plays here in the Mulos system. He is hitting 204, OPS of 458, no home runs, and 7 runs batted in. Pickoff attempt from Hancock, but Corona is plenty safe over there. As that cutter misses outside, 1-0. Goyette flies that one out down the right field line. 1-1. Hey, he finally gets a whiff on that cutter. 1-2. Let's see if he can do that again. Nope. That is swung on and lifted. Hey, look at that. Frank de Castillo with a run to his right is able to catch it. That's actually a great catch. Wow. And then makes the throw back in to hold Corona. So it'll be 1 out and a man on. As Felipe Morales comes up, still looking for his 3rd hit of the night. So he's got 2 ribbies. It's his problem. He didn't have to be like this.
He's so young. He has to hear this from the booth every time he comes up.
Corona gets back on that one. It's 1-0. Felipe Morales, he is only 20. I suppose that's fair. You know what? If he's not ready for this, he doesn't have the mental toughness to succeed in baseball.
Well, you're throwing crumpled up beer cans at him.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, just going full Brockmeyer.
Yeah.
Sure, Lou has that pop-up, and here comes Daryl Connor, who is 0 for 4 on the day. Let's see if Hancock can clear this one and hand it over to his lineup to get wrecked. As O'Connor fouls that one off, it'll be 0-1. Cutter misses away 1-1. And that swung on and darted foul near the plate there, 1-2. Cutter misses inside, 2-2. And so does that one. Not sure what pitch that was. That was a changeup. So it'll be another payoff pitch. Chad Hancock's pitch, number 18. That was ball 4, and it got absolutely hammered, but it was on the ground to Shirley, who made the easy throw to first after catching that ball. And that ends the top of the 9th. So there's 3 outs to try and make this respectable against Faustino Cruz, who has had 33 pitches over 8 outs, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. And it'll be Rob Feaster leading it off. He's 1 for 2 with a ribby and a walk. Nothing to do but fight to the bitter end.
Mm-hmm.
As Feaster fouls off that first ball down the left field line. A slider that he hits very hard. 0-1. And that sinker catches enough of the zone to be strike 2. I will say, something managers have gotten way smarter about is they're bringing in their bullpens earlier in situations where before they would have waited until, like, the opponent scored 8 runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And now if your pitcher is controlling the game but he's tired enough, he's in the oranges, not in the reds, they bring in a new guy.
Yeah. They're learning.
They sure are. See if this will be the strikeout pitch. Nope, but it'll be the pop-up pitch, as that is a high arc into center field. Easy enough for Chavez to range underneath it, and we're down to 2 outs. Here comes Ham Underwood, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Let's see if he can get hit 101. Sinker misses inside, 1-0. Pardon me. Swung on and hit to LaRue at second base. And we are down to 1 out. Spike Stonehand will be the last batter. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Strike 1 on the sinker. Slightly outside, but not enough. That slider misses low, 1-1. And that's fouled right there at the plate to make it 1-2. That's also fouled, but this time down the left field line, and they can't catch it. We stay at a 1-2 count. Stonehand not willing to go home just yet, and that was a very weird slider up and in at him. Cruz now at 43 pitches, 2-2 count, and I do believe this is about to be over. Swung on and hit into center field. Chavez able to range underneath. No, it's over his head!
Oh, there's an effort.
Spike Stonehand's first base hit of the game comes with 2 outs and 2 strikes, and it'll be a double to turn over the lineup.
He's saying it's not my fault that this game went this way.
Mm-hmm. Even though he is the one who signaled for all of those pitches.
That's why he especially needs to say it's not his fault.
Exactly. Benji Valdez is next up. He is 2 for 4 on the day. Can he make this interesting? Man on second with 2 outs. He's batting some amount with runners in scoring position, as that sinker is on the outside corner there, 0-1. Swung on and fouled down the left field line. So everybody's going to have to run back on that one. And once again, I do believe this is about to be over. Sure is. That is a very meek hit to Dare O'Connor, who has no trouble sending it over to first, and this ball game is over.
Ugh, well, yeah.
Naguabo loses at home to Gregorio Salazar. Faustino Cruz with his 4th save of the year. Now, that's because he pitched 3.2 innings. Yeah, that was, Viriato Fresquez gets player of the game for his 3 for 5 line with 4 runs batted in. Can't blame him there. And there was just no control from Ted Balloon, or, in fact, most from the 2 best pitchers in this game, there was nothing.
Yeah.
Balloon had everything you've expected him to have, except he didn't have walks. That's the weird bit. Tons of hits, tons of earned runs, 4 strikeouts, a wild pitch, a hit batsman. Kareem Anbar hit a guy, which he had not done all year, and allowed 2 runs. Every other pitcher who was in this game combined for 3 hits and 1 strikeout. No walks, no hits by pitch, no wild pitches. This is the kind of game that you just flush.
Yeah.
And of course, Felipe Morales gets mentioned in this article. It's I really hate losing against a pitcher that I hate losing, period, but you look at a pitcher who's allowed 2 home runs, he's hit 11 guys, he's had 8 wild pitches, he's walked more guys than he's struck out. Like, this is a pitcher they should be able to beat, and they cannot. And that is a real problem. I say this, we're, reigning champions. On some level, who cares, but...
Yeah, it's still a disappointing game.
Very much so. So, any final thoughts?
Not really. By the second inning, I felt like I knew where it was going to go, and it did. So, it was just one of those games.
We were surely right.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, everybody. We're going to leave you for this week. We hope that maybe, next week we'll have a game that is actually remotely good for the Navegadores. At least more exciting. That would be good. But until then, this has been, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Gente, buenas noches, gracias mil, y Dios les bendiga.